Relax now. Let your body grow heavy. The day is finished, and all that matters is this moment of calm. Feel your breath moving slowly, in and out, like the tide against a shore, like the rustle of wind in the leaves, in and out. Each exhale softens your shoulders, your chest, your hands. Feel the weight of the blankets around you, like a gentle embrace. You are safe. You are warm. You are drifting into a quieter world. Our story today begins in a place far away. Long ago, in a quiet monastery, surrounded by rolling hills of green. The air is cool, with the faintest touch of morning dew. The stars are fading, one by one, like candles blown out by the softest breath. And in the hush of night, turning slowly into day, a single figure stirs. He is a novice, barely grown, wrapped in a simple woolen robe. His name is not important, not now, but his duty is, for he is the Bellringer, and it is nearly time to call the day awake. The monastery sleeps still, its stone walls heavy with silence. Only the faint crackle of the dying hearth and the whisper of owls in the rafters disturb the stillness. The novice breathes in, slowly, the scent of old wood, cool stone, and faint smoke fills his lungs, and he rises. Bare feet touch the flagstones, smooth and cold beneath him. He takes a lantern, its flame flickering like a heartbeat in the dark. The corridors stretch out before him, lined with heavy arches, carved centuries before. Each step is soft, steady, echoing gently, like water dripping in a cavern. He walks, slowly, toward the bell tower. Outside, the village rests in deep slumber. Thatched roofs lie under silver frost, the fields empty, the animals still. The people wait, unaware that soon the bell will toll, and with it, the world will stir again. The novice begins to climb. The tower is tall, its spiral staircase winding upward through shadow, stone beneath his feet, worn smooth by generations of monks before him. Each step takes him closer and closer to the great bronze bell. Listen now. Imagine the hush of that climb. Only the faint creak of wood, the gentle brush of his robe against a wall, and the sound of his breath, calm, measured, steady. At last, he reaches the belfry. The air here is colder, sharper, carrying with it the scent of night winds. The stars seem closer through the arched openings. And there, before him, hangs the bell. Huge, ancient, its surface darkened with age, yet still gleaming faintly in the lantern glow. It has hung there for centuries, guarding the hours, carrying prayers on its voice of bronze. He places his hands on the rope, pauses, breathes, and as the first thread of dawn brushes the horizon with pale gold, he pulls. The bell moves, slowly, heavily, until at last, the first note rings out. A deep, resonant sound, rolling over fields and forests, soothing, steady, like the earth itself speaking. And with each toll, the village below begins to stir. Candles flicker to life in tiny windows. Smoke begins to rise from chimneys. A rooster calls, faint in the distance, and the day begins with a soft, slow rhythm of the Bellringer song. The bell's echo lingers. It rolls across the hills like a soft wave, fading gently, slowly, into silence, until the next toll begins. The novice pulls again and again, each motion slow, steady, mindful. The rope brushes against his palms, coarse but familiar. The great bronze heart of the bell swings, and its voice carries far. In the village, a shepherd stirs beneath his blanket. Hearing it, a baker stretches, rising to knead the day's bread, the sound his gentle alarm. And somewhere far across the fields, even the birds begin to ruffle their wings, as if the sound calls to them too. In medieval times, the ringing of bells was more than timekeeping. It was a shield, a blessing. People believed the deep bronze tones could drive away storms and keep away wandering spirits. Some even thought the vibrations shook apart the very clouds. So, when the bell rang, hearts grew calmer, people felt protected, and life moved forward in rhythm with the chimes. The novice does not think of these things as he works. For him, this is ritual. This is breath and body and prayer. Every tug on the rope is a small devotion, a whisper of gratitude, a rhythm to guide his soul as much as the village below. Between each toll, there is silence. Listen to that silence. It is wide, vast, filled with the softness of early dawn. Only the whisper of wind passes through the tower arches. It carries with it the faintest scent of hay, and chimney smoke, and pine forests far beyond the hills. The novice breathes deeply, letting it in. Far below, the first faint light spreads across the horizon. It paints the frost on rooftops silver. It makes the river shimmer like glass. And soon, the sky itself begins to glow pale blue, then lavender, then the first threads of gold, all while the bell sings its steady song. The sound does not rush. It does not hurry. It is slow, patient, like the rising sun. Each toll falls into the stillness like a pebble into a pond, sending out gentle ripples, one by one, spreading farther and farther. The novice closes his eyes for a moment. He lets the vibration hum through his chest. It feels steady, grounding, timeless. The same note his ancestors heard. The same rhythm they trusted to wake, to work, to worship. And in that moment, he feels less like one small boy and more like part of something eternal. Stone, bronze, prayer, all woven together in the slow heartbeat of the monastery bell. He opens his eyes. The rope sways gently in his hand. Another toll, deep and calm, carries into the air, and he whispers, barely audible, peace, peace upon them all. The sound drifts outward, over rooftops and fields, over rivers and woods, until it becomes part of the world itself. The last of the bell's notes fades, like a sigh dissolving into the morning sky. The novice lets the rope settle, swaying softly, until it comes to rest. His hands are warm from the friction, his breathing calm and steady. And as the silence fills the belfry again, he leans near the arched opening and gazes outward. The monastery lies quiet below, its cloisters shaped like a square embrace, stone warmed by centuries of prayer. Smoke drifts gently from a chimney where the night's fire still smolders. The small garden glimmers with dew, every herb leaf catching the newborn light. And the world beyond the village roofs, the soft bend of the river, the faraway line of woods looks, as though it is slowly, very gently, exhaling into day. Inside, the brothers stir. Doors creak open, and robed figures move softly down the halls. The rhythm of the bells has reached them, pulling them from dreams into devotion. They light small candles, one by one, and the corridors glow with a honey gold flicker. Wax softens, flames sway. Each tiny light, a star reborn inside the stone walls. The novice descends the spiral steps, the lantern guiding his way. The stone feels colder now, under his bare feet, yet familiar, like the touch of an old friend. Every step downward feels like moving into the embrace of the monastery itself. Safe and closed, steady as the earth. As he reaches the cloister walk, he hears soft voices. The monks, gathering for matins, the first prayer of the day. In the medieval world, time was not kept by clocks as we know them. Time was kept by bells and by prayer. The canonical hours matins, lauds, prime terce, sext none, vespers, compline, were the rhythm of life, as steady as breath. And so, when the bell rang, the monks did not see it only as sound. They saw it as the very heartbeat of God's presence in their day. The novice moves quietly into the chapel. Candles line the altar, their flames steady, unwavering, despite the faint draft of dawn air. The scent of beeswax mingles with incense, soft and sweet, wrapping the air like a blanket. The monks' voices begin to rise, low and resonant, chanting words in Latin that drift like clouds. Each note slow, soothing, endless. The walls catch the sound and send it back, softened, multiplied, until the whole chapel seems to hum with harmony. The novice bows his head. He closes his eyes, and he feels the chant as much as he hears it. It washes over him like warm water, carrying with it both the weight of tradition and the lightness of surrender. Each phrase is like a tide rolling in, then drawing back. Each pause is silence made sacred. Outside, the sun is rising higher. Golden beams touch the stone floor through narrow windows. Dust motes dance in the light, swirling slowly like tiny worlds floating in the still air. And in this moment, time seems to soften. There is no rush. There is no past, no future. Only the sound of voices, the glow of candles, the warmth of breath, and the steady rhythm of prayer guiding the dawn. The chanting fades, leaving behind a silence that feels almost alive, as though the very stones hum softly with the echo. The monks bow their heads, robes rustling like leaves stirred by the faintest breeze. One by one, they move quietly into the new day. The novice lingers only a moment, his eyes drawn to the last flicker of a candle. Its flame dances against the air, tiny yet unafraid, as if whispering, "Carry light into the hours ahead." He takes a breath, then turns, following the sound of footsteps into the cloister walk once more. The air has shifted now. Outside the narrow windows, the sky is pale blue, brushed with strokes of soft rose and gold. Birdsong trickles into the silent sparrows and finches, their voices light and playful, as though answering the bells. It is the language of morning. The novice makes his way toward the kitchen. The scent meets him before he arrives. The warm, earthy fragrance of bread baking, the faint sweetness of oats stirred slowly in great iron pots. He steps inside, where the hearth glows with fire. Flames lick at logs, crackling gently, releasing sparks that twirl and vanish into the smoke-darkened chimney. Two monks are already at work, sleeves rolled, hands steady. One kneads dough upon a wooden table, pressing and folding with unhurried strength. Each movement is rhythmic, almost meditative. Push, fold, turn, push, fold, turn. A gentle percussion, steady as a heartbeat. The other stirs the pot with a wooden spoon, the porridge thick and bubbling, releasing clouds of fragrant steam. The novice sits quietly on a stool near the fire. The warmth embraces him, soothing away the chill that clung to his robe in the tower. The crackle of logs, the hiss of bubbling oats, the muted thump of doit is all a lullaby of work, soft and unassuming. Even labor, here, feels like prayer. In medieval kitchens, bread was more than food. It was life, sustenance, and symbol. Loaves were often marked with small crosses before baking, a blessing pressed into the crust. To break bread was to share not just nourishment, but peace. And in monasteries, the simple act of baking became sacred. Every loaf, a quiet offering. The novice closes his eyes for a moment, breathing in deeply. The warmth of the hearth, the fragrance of baking, the gentle rhythm of work. He feels the world around him softening, stretching, settling into harmony. Outside, the village too is waking. Doors creak open. Children shuffle sleepily from straw beds. Smoke curls upward from cottage chimneys, joining the sky in lazy swirls. The sound of a cartwheel creaking down the road reaches faintly to the monastery. The world has begun to move, but here, in the kitchen, time is slower, softer. Bread will rise at its own pace, the fire will burn at its own will, and the day will unfold gently, one moment at a time, guided still by the echo of the morning bell. When the bread has been left to rise, the novice is sent quietly into the garden. He pushes open a wooden door, its hinges sighing gently, and steps into the cloister's heart, a square of earth, encircled by stone walls, yet open to the sky. The air here feels different, cooler, fresher, kissed by the damp touch of morning dew. The garden glimmers with droplets that cling to every leaf and blade of grass. Sunlight filters down in soft beams, painting the herbs with gold. He bends low, running his fingers lightly across rosemary stalks. Their scent rises sharp and clear, awakening his senses. Nearby, lavender sways gently in the breeze, its fragrance calming, sweet, a whisper of sleep and daylight. And tucked in neat rows are sage, thyme, and mintage plant tended with care, each leaf holding a secret. Medieval gardens were more than beauty. They were medicine. The monks who lived here carried knowledge gathered from centuries past, which herbs soothed fever, which eased a restless mind, which could heal wounds, and which could gently draw a troubled spirit toward peace. Books in the scriptorium told of these plants, copied by careful hands. their ink strokes preserving wisdom for generations yet to come. The novice kneels by a bed of chamomile, brushing the delicate blossoms with his fingertips. He breathes in their soft apple-sweet scent, and his heart slows. It is said, he remembers, that chamomile calms both the stomach and the soul. It is the plant of rest, of easing burdens. And for a moment, he feels as though even the earth itself is singing lullabies through its roots. Bees hum gently among the flowers, moving lazily from blossom to blossom. Their low drone is steady, soothing, like the vibration of the bell, but softer, a smaller, humbler song. Birds call from the monastery roof, their notes playful and bright, and the garden feels alive with a quiet music that does not need words. The novice gathers a small bundle of herbs, tucking them carefully into his robe. Rosemary for clarity, mint for freshness, lavender for calm, chamomile for comfort. The bundle feels light in his hands, yet filled with meaning. He sits for a moment on the edge of the garden wall, letting his legs dangle as he gazes at the world beyond. The fields stretch outward, rolling and soft, touched by light. The river glimmers like a ribbon of silver, and the village stirs with life voices faint, animals moving, carts rolling slowly along paths worn by time. The novice closes his eyes. He breathes in the mingled scents of herbs, dew, and sunlight, and he feels the same calm rhythm of the bell still moving through him. Slow, steady, eternal. It is the rhythm of the monastery, the rhythm of earth, the rhythm of dawn unfolding. With the herbs gathered close to his chest, the novice moves along the cloister walk once more. The cool stone beneath his bare feet feels grounding, each step slow, deliberate. He passes under arched windows where sunlight spills in thin golden ribbons, illuminating motes of dust that swirl gently in the air. The monastery feels awake now, yet hushed, alive with movement, yet wrapped in a silence deeper than sleep. He makes his way toward the scriptorium. The heavy wooden door creaks open, and the scent greets him immediately. The sharp tints of ink, the faint musk of parchment, the comforting dryness of old wood warmed by sunlight. Inside, rows of desks stretch before him, each one lit by narrow windows. Here, the brothers sit in silence, quills poised in careful hands. The only sounds are the soft scratch, scratch of quill against parchment, and the occasional gentle sigh as ink is drawn from wells of black, red, or gold. The rhythm is slow, steady, hypnotic like rain tapping on a roof, or the rustle of leaves in wind. The novice pauses in the doorway, letting the stillness seep into him. Here, words are more than marks. They are prayers. Each letter is shaped with care, each stroke considered. For the act of copying a text was seen not as labor, but devotion. Every manuscript, a gift to time itself. He moves closer, watching as one of the elder scribes paints a single illuminated letter. The quill tip curves gracefully, creating a swirl of blue and gold that blossoms into a shape like a flower. Around it, delicate vines and tiny animals are drawn: foxes, birds, dragons no larger than a thumbprint, all dancing quietly in the margins of the holy text. The page glows under the light, a jewel of patience and beauty. In the medieval world, books were rare treasures. Each one could take months, even years, to complete. The parchment itself, made from carefully prepared animal skin, was precious, smooth beneath the quill. Ink was mixed from oak galls, soot, and herbs, a recipe whispered down through generations. To write a single page was to weave together earth, tree, fire, and hand. A harmony of elements, preserved in lines of scripture or story. The novice sits quietly at the edge of the room, listening. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The sound is soft, repetitive, endlessly soothing. It feels like the heartbeat of knowledge itself. A rhythm as steady as the bell, as steady as breath. He closes his eyes, letting the sound carry him. And in that moment, he imagines the words themselves, glowing softly in the dark, guiding souls through centuries, bridging past and present with quiet light. When he opens his eyes again, the elder scribe smiles faintly, then turns back to his work. No words are needed here, only patience, only presence. only the soft, unbroken song of ink meeting parchment, over and over, until the page is complete. The novice rises quietly from his seat at the edge of the scriptorium. He leaves the hushed rhythm of quills behind, stepping back into the cool cloister walk. The door closes with a soft thud, and at once, another sound greets him. The gentle trickle of water. He follows it, letting the soft echo guide his steps, until he emerges into the monastery's courtyard. Here, at the very center, stands a fountain, a basin of stone, worn smooth by centuries, where water spills gently from a carved spout into a pool below. The sound is steady, delicate, a soothing murmur that mingles with birdsong. It fills the courtyard with calm, as though the stones themselves drink in its music. The novice sits on the edge of the fountain, setting down his bundle of herbs beside him. He dips his hand into the water, cool and clear. The ripples spread outward in small circles, catching the sunlight, breaking it into fragments of gold that dance upon the surface. Monastery courtyards were often built with fountains like this. They were not only for beauty, but for ritual. Water was seen as cleansing, a symbol of rebirth, a reminder of purity and life's eternal flow. And so, every drop here feels sacred. The novice cups the water in his hands, watching as it slips slowly through his fingers. It sparkles, then vanishes back into the pool, like time itself, always moving, always returning, never still. He closes his eyes, listening to the trickle. The courtyard is quiet, yet alive. Bees drift lazily over the lavender hedges. Pigeons coo softly in the arches overhead. A breeze stirs the leaves of a small fig tree. There rustle gentle, like parchment pages turning. The novice breathes deeply. In this moment, he feels the whole monastery breathing with him. The brothers in prayer, the scribes with their quills, the bakers by their ovens, all moving in a rhythm as fluid and calm as the water at his side. He takes the herbs from his robe and rinses them in the pool. Rosemary glistens, droplets clinging to its needles. Mint brightens, its fragrance carried by the breeze. Chamomile blossoms float briefly on the surface before sinking slowly below. It feels like an offering, a small, quiet prayer carried into water, joining the endless cycle of flow. The novice leans back slightly, gazing upward. The sky above is fully awake now. A soft expanse of pale blue, clouds stretched like thin veils across its face. He watches them drift, unhurried, as though the sky itself moves to the rhythm of bells and water. Somewhere, faintly, he hears the village again, a hammer striking wood. Children's laughter carried on the wind, the cry of a hawk circling high above the fields. All these sounds weave together like threads in a tapestry, with the fountain's trickle at the heart of it all. And so, the novice sits in stillness, water murmuring at his side, sky opening above him, and the gentle weight of dawn resting on his shoulders like a soft, familiar cloak. The novice rises from the fountain's edge, his robe brushing against the smooth stone as he gathers his bundle of herbs. The air is growing warmer now, the kind of warmth that invites gentle movement, unhurried and calm. He makes his way across the courtyard, through an archway that leads into the monastery's small stable. At once, the fragrance of straw and hay greets him, earthy, grounding, a scent that carries a memory of fields and sunlit harvests. Inside, the stable is dim but welcoming. Wooden beams arch overhead, and shafts of sunlight stream through tiny windows, falling across bales of hay, catching the dust that swirls in the air like golden motes. The animals stir softly at his arrival. A pair of goats lift their heads, their gentle eyes blinking as if in greeting. They shift in the straw, their hooves making a faint, hollow sound against the floorboards. One lets out a soft bleat, not sharp, but low and melodic, a sound that vibrates warmly in the air. The novice smiles. He sets down the herbs, reaching first for a wooden bucket. The water within it sloshes softly as he carries it, and the goats step closer, nosing gently against his robe. He lowers the bucket, and they drink with slow, careful gulps, tongues moving, lips brushing the surface of the water, creating small ripples that catch the shafts of light. The sound is soothing, rhythmic, like a quiet chorus in harmony with the fountain he left behind. Nearby, pigeons coo from their loft, a soft rolling sound, their feathers rustling as they shift from perch to perch. Each coo is like a lullaby, a reminder of peace, as though even the birds know this place is a sanctuary. The novice scatters a few seeds for them, and they flutter down gently, wings whispering through the air before settling into the straw. Their soft pecking joins the gentle symphony of morning. Water, breath, bleats, and coos, blending seamlessly. At the far end of the stable, a small donkey stirs, his large, kind eyes reflecting the dappled sunlight. He shifts slowly, hooves brushing straw, and exhales with a deep, steady breath. A sigh that feels ancient, patient, like the earth itself breathing through him. The novice steps forward, running a hand along the donkey's neck. The fur is coarse, but warm beneath his palm, the skin moving slightly as the animal shifts. The donkey leans into the touch, closing his eyes briefly, as if savoring the simple kindness of the gesture. The novice lingers here, surrounded by creatures who expect nothing but presence, who live each moment with calm acceptance. He feels the rhythm of their breathing, the warmth of their bodies, the steadiness of their world, and in this rhythm, he finds another kind of prayer. The animals, like the bells, like the fountain, like the chant of the monks, all form part of a larger harmony, a harmony that fills the monastery with a peace as soft and endless as dawn itself. The novice leaves the stable with slow, measured steps, his sandals pressing softly into the worn path beneath him. The morning has grown brighter, but still holds that gentle hush before the day fully awakens. Ahead lies the monastery's garden, a place both wild and orderly, where the monks have shaped nature with loving care, yet allowed it freedom to flourish. Stone paths wind between beds of herbs and flowers, their edges lined with smooth river pebbles that glisten faintly from the dew. As the novice passes beneath a wooden trellis, he is met with a flood of fragrance. Lavender, rosemary, thyme, and sage, their scents rise gently in the warming air, layering together in a bouquet that calms the body and stills the mind. Bees drift from blossom to blossom, their wings humming like tiny instruments. The sound is soft, a gentle vibration that seems to weave itself into the rhythm of the bells, still echoing faintly in the novice's memory. Each hum, each movement, feels like part of a universal music, small, steady notes in the great song of the world. Butterflies rise as he walks by, their wings painted in quiet hues, ochre, ivory, pale blue, fluttering like scraps of cloth caught in the breeze. They hover, they dip, and then move on, graceful in their unhurried dance. The novice kneels at a patch of chamomile, running his fingers gently over the blossoms. The petals are soft against his skin, the yellow centers warm and firm. He gathers a few carefully, knowing they will be dried later, steeped into calming teas that soothe weary bodies and restless minds. Nearby, a small stone bench waits beneath an olive tree. The novice sits for a moment, placing his bundle of herbs beside him. The tree's branches stretch wide overhead, their silvery leaves rustling softly in the breeze. The sound is like a whisper, a secret passed down through centuries, a language only the wind and leaves truly know. He leans back, closing his eyes, and lets the warmth of the sun touch his face. The scent of earth, the hum of bees, the rustle of leaves, all surround him, folding over him like a blanket of sound and fragrance. Somewhere nearby, a bird begins to sing clear, bright notes rising one by one, a song that spirals into the still air. It is not hurried, it is not forced, it is simply given, like a gift, to the morning. The novice listens, his breath matching the bird's rhythm, his heart softening with each phrase. He feels the melody slip gently into him, resting there, settling like light upon still water. For a moment, time itself seems to pause. The world, the garden, the monastery, all held in a tender silence that carries only the sound of wings, the sigh of leaves, and the gentle memory of bells. After resting in the garden, the novice rises, his body refreshed by stillness, his spirit quiet as a calm pond. He gathers his herbs, holding them close, and makes his way along the path that curves toward the scriptorium. The scriptorium, that sacred chamber of ink and silence, where words are born into permanence, where the wisdom of centuries rests patiently upon parchment. Its windows are narrow, letting in only soft, filtered light, the kind that falls gently without disturbing thought or prayer. The novice pushes open the wooden door. It creaks softly, a slow sigh of hinges that seems to honor the stillness within. At once, he is wrapped in a cocoon of quiet, where every sound is hushed, every movement measured. Rows of desks stand in ordered lines, each one carved from dark oak, each one holding an inkpot, a quill, and a neat stack of parchment. Candles glow in iron holders, their flames steady and unwavering, casting halos of golden light that seem to shimmer against the walls. At one desk sits an elder monk, his figure bent gently forward, his hand moving slowly, guiding the quill across parchment. The faint scratch of ink is the only sound in the chamber, like the soft murmur of rain upon stone. Each stroke deliberate, each curve of the letter shaped with devotion and patience. The novice stands still for a moment, listening to that delicate sound, the music of ink meeting parchment, the rhythm of thought made visible. It is a sound that carries no haste, a sound that invites the heart to slow and the mind to linger. He walks softly to the shelves, lined with books bound in leather, their spines worn, their edges softened with age. Some are dark, their surfaces smooth and shining, others pale and cracked, their bindings repaired with careful stitches. Each one holds a voice, a story, a prayer preserved for those yet to come. He reaches out, his fingers brushing against the leather. It is cool beneath his touch, textured with lines and creases, as though the book itself bears the wrinkles of time. He pulls one gently from the shelf and carries it to a quiet corner. The chair welcomes him with its solid weight, the wood cool at first, then warming slowly beneath him. He opens the book, and the scent of parchment and ink rises, earthy and deep, like the breath of an ancient forest. The letters curl across the page, black strokes against pale parchment, alive with meaning. Though he reads slowly, the words flow like a gentle river, carrying him deeper into their current. Each phrase feels like a step upon a hidden path, each sentence a lantern lighting the way forward. Time drifts. The world outside continues its waking, but here in the scriptorium the air is timeless. Suspended between candle flame and ink, between parchment and prayer. After a time, the novice closes the book, sliding his hand softly over the cover, as though sealing the words within. He returns it carefully to its place, resting it gently upon the shelf, and bows his head. A quiet gesture of gratitude to those unknown hands that copied its pages long ago. He steps back into the corridor. The air feels cooler here, tinged with the faint fragrance of stone and wax. A gentle draft slides along the passage, drawing him onward toward the cloister. The cloister, a square garden held at the monastery's heart, ringed with covered walkways, where stone arches frame glimpses of sky. Here, silence becomes a living presence, shaped by water and wind, woven into the rhythm of footsteps that echo softly along the paving stones. As he enters, the hush embraces him. Above, the sky is pale blue, washed with light, while the sun hangs just high enough to scatter a shimmer of gold across the stones. The arches stand steady in their quiet grace, their shadows stretching across the ground like darkened rivers. At the center of the garden rises a fountain, its basin carved from gray stone, its edges softened by moss that glows green in the morning light. Water spills gently from its mouth, falling in threads, breaking into droplets that patter softly into the pool below. The sound is tender, a ceaseless murmur, neither loud nor urgent, but steady, as though it has been speaking for centuries. It fills the cloister with calm, its voice mingling with the whispers of leaves stirred by the faintest breeze. The novice walks slowly beneath the arches, his sandals brushing against the cool stone. Each step creates a hollow echo, a sound that seems to answer itself in the stillness. The rhythm of his steps joins the rhythm of the fountain, footfall and water blending together like two instruments in a quiet song. He pauses to rest upon a bench of stone, its surface cool against his palm. From here, he watches the rippling fountain pool. The water glitters in the light, its surface shifting with gentle movement. its depths reflecting fragments of sky. When the breeze touches it, small rings expand across the surface, fading into calmness once more. The novice breathes deeply, filling his lungs with air that is fresh and green, carrying with it the sense of herbs and earth. He closes his eyes. The sound of the fountain becomes his companion. Its constant murmur steadies him, each drop a reminder of the ceaseless flow of life, gentle, patient, eternal. For a long while he remains there, resting in the embrace of water and stone, his heart quiet, his thoughts drifting like fallen leaves floating upon a calm stream. When at last he rises, his steps are unhurried, as though the stillness of the cloister has seeped into his very bones. He begins to walk the covered path, slowly, his hand brushing lightly against the cool stone of the columns as he moves from shadow into sunlight, and then back into shadow again. The arches curve above him, framing slices of sky, soft blue and pale gold, each one a picture in its own right. Through them, he sees the garden at the cloister's heart, rows of herbs, sage and thyme, their fragrance carried gently by the breeze. Small birds flit among them, their wings catching the morning light, their songs quick and light as threads of sound. The novice imagines, as he walks, all the feet that have touched these same stones before him. Monks from centuries past, men who rose before the dawn, men who bowed their heads in prayer, men who carried silence as one carries a lantern. He imagines their robes brushing against the ground, their sandals striking the stone, their hearts steady with faith. It comforts him to know that he is not the first to feel the weight of silence here. He is walking a path worn by devotion, a path softened by prayer. Every step feels both his own and not his own, for the echoes of the past walk beside him. The breeze stirs again, rustling the leaves of the garden trees. They respond with a gentle sigh, as though the earth itself is breathing. The sound merges with the steady fall of the fountain water, with the light bird song, with the almost imperceptible hum of life itself. He pauses by a small alcove, where a candle burns before a stone carving of the Virgin. The flame dances faintly, its light golden and delicate, casting shadows that flicker across the carved face. The novice bows his head, his hands clasped loosely together. He does not pray with words this time, only with presence, with stillness, with the silent offering of being here. When he lifts his head again, he sees how the light from the rising sun is beginning to fill the cloister more fully. Shadows shrink, arches glow with brightness, and the moss upon the fountain stone glistens as though it were dusted with jewels. Time seems suspended, and yet he feels it moving, not rushing, not urgent, but flowing gently forward, the way water flows downstream. The novice resumes his walk, circling the cloister once more. His breathing has slowed, his heart rests in its rhythm, and a soft warmth spreads through him, the warmth of belonging, the warmth of peace. He drifts now toward the garden itself, drawn by its scents, by its gentle aliveness. The path of stone gives way to soil beneath his sandals, soft and cool from the night's lingering dew. The novice bends slightly, his fingertips brushing the leaves of rosemary. Their fragrance springs up at once, a sharp, clean scent, bright as morning itself. He breathes it in, slowly, deeply, letting it settle inside his chest. The fragrance feels almost like memory, as though he has inhaled centuries of prayer that once rose from these same leaves, plucked by monks long gone, boiled into teas, pressed into oils, offered to the sick, to the weary, to the faithful. Nearby, thyme grows in neat rows, its tiny leaves clustered, its flowers pale and delicate. A bee hovers there, buzzing low, its hum steady and calm. The sound blends with the morning air, a vibration soft as a lullaby. The novice watches the bee move, drawn from one blossom to another, never hurried, never frantic. It works as though time itself were endless. The novice smiles faintly, realizing that he, too, need not hurry. Here in the cloister garden, life unfolds at its own gentle pace. The earth provides, the air carries fragrance, the water nourishes roots, the sun stirs blossoms into opening. There is no need to rush what was always meant to bloom slowly. He lingers near the sage now, its silvery leaves, soft and velvety. He touches one gently, the texture cool against his fingertips. When he lifts his hand, the scent clings faintly. Earthy, warm, mysterious. He remembers the old monk's words. That sage, once burned, was thought to purify a space, to chase away unseen shadows. Just as the bells were said to chase away storms. For a moment, he imagines the chime of bells mingling with the rising smoke of sage, their echoes stretching across valleys, warding off fears, reminding all who hear, you are safe, the earth still holds you, the dawn still comes. A soft wind stirs, rippling across the rows of herbs, carrying their perfumes together like threads woven into a single cloth. The novice closes his eyes, letting the fragrance wash over him. Each breath feels like a prayer, each inhale a reminder of peace, each exhale a letting go of worries too small for such a vast morning. When he opens his eyes again, the fountain at the center of the garden catches his gaze. The water arcs gently from its spout, falling into the pool below, with a rhythm steady as heartbeats. The sound is soothing, like whispered words he cannot quite hear but feels deep inside. He moves closer, kneeling at its edge. The stone is cool beneath his hands, damp with a film of moss. He cups the water, lets it flow through his fingers, lets the droplets sparkle in the sunlight before they fall again. It is as if the garden itself whispers, be still, be present, you belong here. The novice lingers by the fountain, settling himself onto the low stone rim. The water murmurs beside him, falling in its soft, endless rhythm. Every droplet strikes the surface below, sending out ripples that spread in perfect circles, each one gliding outward, widening, fading. He leans forward slightly, watching the way the light plays upon those ripples, the morning sun touching the water, until it seems to glow with a quiet fire. Each circle feels like a breath, a pulse, a whisper of eternity moving through time. The novice lets his breathing match the fountain. Inhale, as the water arcs upward. Exhale, as it falls and shatters into ripples. Inhale again, gathering stillness. Exhale, letting it drift away. He closes his eyes, yet the ripples remain inside him, echoing softly through his chest. They remind him of the bell, of how a single strike sends waves of sound outward into valleys, into forests, into the ears of travelers miles away. One act, a single gesture, can ripple endlessly. And he thinks, perhaps so can a life. Perhaps a life lived in kindness, in patience, in prayer, sends out ripples too. They may fade from the eye, but still move quietly, carrying something of the heart to places unseen. The fountain song deepens, as if to agree. The novice sits taller, yet remains perfectly still. He feels the garden around him folding close like a cloak. The hum of bees, the sigh of leaves, the faint clink of a pebble tumbling in the water, all sounds blend into one harmony. He rests his hands on his knees, palms open, as though offering them to the air. His breath slows further, his body softens. It is not sleep, yet not waking either. It is a gentle in-between, a trance woven of quiet. His thoughts begin to blur. The boundaries between garden and self seem to melt away. He is no longer simply sitting by the fountain. He is the fountain, his breath the water rising and falling, his thoughts the ripples spreading outward. He is the leaves trembling, the rosemary's fragrance rising, the bees' hum echoing steady. He is both watcher and watched. Time slips away unnoticed. Perhaps moments pass, perhaps hours. The novice cannot tell. But in that timelessness, there is no burden, no striving, only a stillness, vast and tender. A bellbird cries faintly in the forest, beyond the wall, its call high and clear. The sound carries like a note struck on metal, reminding him again of the bell above the cloister. The echo lingers, then dissolves into the morning air. The novice opens his eyes slowly. The fountain sparkles before him, just as before, but now it seems brighter, more alive. It feels as though he has awoken into the same world, yet a deeper layer of it. He breathes once more, softly, and whispers, almost without knowing, "Thank you." The novice remains seated for a moment longer, gazing at the rippling water. The silence within him feels so complete that even the faintest sound seems wrapped in softness, but slowly, like a tide returning, the awareness of duty drifts back. Somewhere above the cloister roof, the bell waits in its wooden frame. Unstruck, silent, but heavy with its promise. Soon, it must speak again. The novice straightens gently, his spine unfolding, his shoulders rolling back. He places both hands upon the fountain's rim, the stone cooled beneath his palms. He rises carefully, as though not to disturb the delicate balance of stillness that still clings to him. The garden greets his movement kindly. A breeze lifts, curling through rosemary and sage, bringing with it a fragrance sharp and clear. The lavender leans slightly, as if bowing him farewell. A sparrow darts between the branches, its wings whispering against the leaves. He steps onto the stone path, his sandals brushing lightly. Each step feels deliberate, as though the earth itself receives his weight with care. The rhythm of his walk matches the rhythm of his breath, steady, unhurried, measured like the heartbeat of the morning. As he walks, he touches briefly the tall stalk of rosemary, letting the oils cling to his fingers. He lifts them to his face, inhales deeply. The scent roots him again in the world, a reminder that spirit and earth are not two, but one. The novice passes beneath the shadow of the arch, the coolness of stone surrounding him again. The cloister opens before him, pillars rising in quiet sequence, casting stripes of shadow across the floor. His sandals echo softly now, the faintest tap-tap like a second pulse beneath his own. He pauses midway, turning his head upward. There, in the square of sky above, the bell tower stands against the light. The morning sun burns gently at its edges, and for a moment, the great bell itself glimmers. It seems almost alive, its silence radiant. The novice bows his head slightly, not in worship of metal, but in reverence for the symbol it carries. The bell is more than bronze and wood. It is discipline. It is remembrance. It is the voice of something eternal, speaking through time. A deep calm settles in his chest again, not as trance this time, but as readiness. He continues walking, crossing the cloister, each arch passed like a heartbeat. He reaches the narrow stairway. Stone steps spiral upward, worn smooth by centuries of feet. He places his hand on the wall, fingers brushing the cool surface. The stone feels damp in places, alive with age. With slow and steady steps, he begins his climb. Round and round he ascends, the air growing cooler, thinner. The faint smell of wood drifts down, the memory of the tower above waiting. Every step echoes softly, a rhythm rising, guiding him upward. Toward the bell, toward his duty, toward the sound that will awaken the world again. At last, the novice reaches the top of the spiral staircase. The air here is still, slightly cooler, and carries the faint scent of aged wood and metal. Beams rise overhead, thick and steady, their surfaces rough beneath his fingertips, smoothed only by centuries of hands that have touched them before. He moves slowly across the wooden floor, each step soft, deliberate. The great bell hangs in the center, its bronze surface darkened by time, yet gleaming faintly in the morning light that pours in from the tower's narrow windows. The rope dangles down, swaying slightly, as if sensing his approach, as if alive with anticipation. He reaches out, fingers brushing the coarse fibers of the rope. It smells faintly of wax and wood, an earthy, comforting aroma. He curls his hands around it, feeling the weight of history, the gentle tug of every bellringer who has stood here before him. He takes a deep breath. The silence at this height is profound. Only the wind hums softly through the slits of the tower, stirring the air like a whisper. He closes his eyes for a moment, centering himself, allowing the rhythm of the morning to settle fully within. The bell waits. It does not demand attention, but it calls softly, its voice sleeping beneath the bronze, ready to rise and fill the valley with sound. The novice imagines the villagers below, still quiet in their homes, their hearts not yet awake. The air of the morning, heavy with the hush of dawn. He begins to pull gently. The rope slides through his fingers, soft fibers whispering against skin. The bell sways slowly, its bronze surface catching the sun, tilting like a slow heartbeat. A deep, mellow note begins to rise. It vibrates through the tower, through his hands, through the beams and stone, spreading outward with a resonance that is gentle, yet commanding. The sound grows steadily, rich and warm, a single toll that seems to hang in the air, lingering long after it begins to fade. He releases it slightly, then pulls again, each toll deliberate, each note a soft ripple over the quiet village below. He remembers what he has learned, that medieval bells were believed to chase away storms, to protect fields, to guard the hearts of those who listen. Each chime he produces is a prayer, a rhythm of care, an offering of calm to the waking world. The novice feels his body move in time with the bell, a harmony of breath and sound, a meditation in motion. Hands grip, pull, release. The room vibrates gently. The beams hum beneath the weight of the bronze. The sunlight shifts across the floor in quiet arcs. Below, the first faint movements of the village stir. Dogs yawn in the streets. Smoke curls from chimneys. A rooster crows far off. And slowly, the day begins its gentle unfolding, all carried on the echo of a single bell tolling through the valley. The novice finds a steady rhythm. Pull, pause, release. The bell swings with gentle insistence, its deep voice spreading outward like ripples on a calm pond. Each toll rolls softly across the valley, bouncing off stone walls, drifting over fields, settling lightly upon the roofs of cottages. He notices how the sound moves through him, a vibration that travels from fingers, through arms, down to the soles of his sandals and into the earth beneath the tower. It is a connection, a pulse linking him to all who dwell below, to every tree, every stone, every creature that listens. The wind carries the notes gently. A stray leaf lifts from the garden below, fluttering upward as if dancing to the bell's song. Birds take flight, wings brushing the morning air, their chirps a soft harmony to the resonance of bronze and wood. He allows his eyes to close, letting the rhythm take him fully. The world seems to expand in concentric circles, the bells echo forming invisible rings that stretch endlessly into the waking day. His heartbeat slows, his breath aligns with the tolling. He is both bell and listener, puller and released, a part of the harmony that enfolds everything. The novice thinks of centuries past, of monks who stood here before him, their hands curled around ropes like his, their mornings beginning with the same deliberate motion. The knowledge brings warmth, a sense of belonging that hums softly in his chest. They too sent their prayers outward in sound, their hands and hearts shaping the air as he shapes it now. Outside the tower, the village stirs slowly, curtains shift in gentle gusts. The smell of baking bread drifts faintly. A horse nuzzles a farmer's hand as he steps into the yard. The first footsteps of the day blend with the echoing bell, a symphony of ordinary life, awakened by the simple devotion of one young novice. He adjusts his hands again, pulling the rope with tender force. Each movement deliberate, each note deliberate, a meditation of sound. The bell's resonance fills the tower, then slides softly down the stone walls, into the valley, across rooftops, over cobblestones and garden paths, until it reaches every listening heart. Time begins to dissolve. The novice no longer measures moments, no longer counts strokes or tolls. There is only presence, there is only sound, and the world's slow awakening in tandem with it. The rope feels alive in his grasp, the bell alive in its song, and he drifts in the quiet connection between intention and vibration, between earth and air, between self and world. A faint breeze lifts the edges of his robe. The morning sun warms his face. And somewhere, in the soft folds of distance, the village responds with subtle signs. A cow lowing in the field, a chimney smoke curling, a child yawning at the window. All is gentle, all is calm, all moves softly to the rhythm of the bell. Slowly, the novice begins to ease the bell. Pull, pause, release. The intervals stretch longer. The bronze swings with gentler arcs, each toll lingering in the air a moment more, resonating softly like a sigh. The valley absorbs the sound. It floats over rooftops, through open windows, into the quiet corners of rooms where families stir gently, still wrapped in blankets and warmth. The bell's voice, once commanding, now becomes a gentle whisper, guiding the world to wake without rush. He watches his hands, letting them follow a tender rhythm, fingertips tracing the coarse rope, palms feeling the subtle vibrations, hearts of bronze speaking through the fibers. Each motion is slow, deliberate, as though he were painting with sound upon the canvas of the morning. Outside, the first golden rays spill across the cloister's arches, touching stone, leaves, and moss with light. The garden glows softly, a gentle reminder that life itself moves quietly, as herbs sway in the breeze and petals tremble, mirroring the bell's fading resonance. The novice allows himself to be carried by the sound, letting it spiral around him, then out into the valley, touching every tree, every cobblestone, every creature. He imagines the monks of the past who too sent their voices into the morning, their prayers entwined with sound, woven into a fabric of calm that endures centuries. He slows his breathing further, matching each inhale with the subtle pull of the rope, each exhale with the echoing fall of the bell. The rhythm becomes a meditation, a gentle rocking of body and spirit, as if the air itself were cradling him. The final toll sounds. It vibrates low and rich, then settles like a soft mist, wrapping the valley in silence. The rope hangs still, the bell quiet, but the peace it has spread remains, a lingering caress of sound and calm. The novice steps back from the bell, hands resting at his sides. The tower feels lighter now, filled with the gentle glow of morning, the residue of centuries of devotion, and the soft energy of a ritual completed. He looks out through the narrow slits of the tower, watching sunlight spill across rooftops, over gardens, along winding roads that lead to the village below. Every detail seems brighter, as if infused with the quiet power of the bell's last note. He breathes deeply, feeling the rhythm of the world settle, matching his own. The garden, the cloister, the tower, the valley all joined together in a harmony of presence, a soft lullaby for the waking day. The novice smiles faintly, letting the calm wash over him. There is stillness here, and he carries it softly, like a feather drifting on air, outward to the world and inward to his own heart. The novice steps lightly onto the spiral staircase once more. Stone beneath his sandals feels familiar, smooth from centuries of careful footsteps. Each step downward is deliberate, a soft echo bouncing along the walls, yet somehow gentle enough to blend seamlessly with the memory of the bell's toll. As he descends, the morning air seems warmer, filled with the soft scent of dew on stone and the faint fragrance of the garden below. He pauses for a moment at the halfway landing, pressing his palm against the wall. The stone hums faintly under his touch, as though remembering the rhythm of the bell and carrying a whisper of its calm down through the tower. At last, he reaches the cloister again. The arches stretch overhead, casting long, soft shadows across the paving stones. The morning sun has risen higher now, painting warm gold across the garden and fountain. The herbs sway lightly in the breeze, and the bees hover lazily, their hum blending with the rustle of leaves. He walks slowly, letting his gaze wander across the garden. The lavender glimmers in the light, rosemary leans gently in the wind, and time spreads quietly along the edges of the paths. Every leaf, every petal, seems to glow with a faint inner peace, as if the bell's toll has poured something invisible into the world. The fountain at the center ripples softly, water sparkling like tiny jewels. He pauses and cups a handful of it, letting the coolness drip slowly between his fingers. The sound of water falling blends with the memory of the bell, forming a gentle harmony that settles like a soft blanket over his senses. He walks toward the stone bench beneath the olive tree. Its branches sway lightly above him, casting dappled shadows that shift as the sun rises. He sits for a moment, breathing deeply, feeling the rhythm of the morning move quietly through his body. The village beyond the cloister begins to stir more fully. Faint voices drift on the air, the clatter of tools or carts, the distant crow of a rooster, all softened by the calm the bell has left behind. Even the sun seems to rise a little more slowly here, as if honoring the hush of these sacred first hours. The novice leans back against the bench, closing his eyes for a moment. He remembers the gentle pull of the bell, the vibration through his hands, the way its sound rippled outward, touching lives he may never see. He allows the peace to sink fully into him, softening shoulders, quieting thoughts, calming every restless corner of his mind. The garden embraces him completely. The rustle of leaves, the hum of bees, the sparkle of water, the fragrance of herbs all merge into a gentle, endless lullaby. He breathes slowly, letting each inhale bring calm, each exhale release the last vestiges of tension. Here, in the cloister garden, the novice feels perfectly at home, wrapped in the quiet aftermath of devotion, and held by the tender rhythm of the morn. The novice remains seated beneath the olive tree, feeling the warmth of the sun on his face, the coolness of the stone beneath him, and the faint pulse of the garden around him. Every sound, the hum of bees, the soft whisper of leaves, the gentle ripple of the fountain, blends into a seamless song of calm. He allows his mind to drift, thinking of the bell still echoing in his memory. Its tolling seems to linger in the air, a thread of sound stretching outward, touching unseen corners of the village, reminding every waking heart that peace can arrive softly, even at the start of a bustling day. A gentle breeze stirs the garden once more, lifting petals and sending a cascade of light movement across the paths. The novice watches them float, each leaf and flower moving as if dancing to a silent melody, soft, rhythmic, and deliberate. He inhales slowly, feeling the air fill his lungs with the calm scent of rosemary, sage, and lavender. Nearby, a small bird lands on the edge of the fountain, its tiny feet tapping lightly against stone. It peers at him curiously, then dips its beak into the water, producing a soft, delicate ripple. The novice smiles faintly, watching how this simple gesture echoes the larger rhythm he has set in motion with the bell above. Time stretches and softens. The novice notices the sun climbing higher, its warmth now touching the entire garden. The herbs sway more lightly, the fountain sparkles brighter, and shadows recede gently along the stone pathways. All of it seems to move in slow harmony, like the world itself is breathing with him, carried by the echo of devotion, the tender aftermath of the morning's song. He closes his eyes, letting the memory of the bell's vibration settle fully into his heart. He feels the rope in his hands again, the weight of the bronze, the gentle sway of its sound, and the awareness that each motion, each toll, is a gift, a quiet prayer, a gentle ripple, sent outward to all who might need it. The novice rests in this calm, allowing the garden to hold him, allowing the morning to unfold slowly, without hurry or concern. He listens to every detail, the distant murmur of villagers, the hum of insects, the whisper of wind through leaves, and lets it all become a single, soothing lullaby. In the quiet, he understands something deep. That peace is not only found in ritual, nor only in the tolling of a bell, but in the soft awareness of life itself, in the gentle observation of each moment, in the tender connection between self and world. He breathes once more, deeply, fully, feeling the harmony of stone, water, air, and light. A faint smile touches his lips. All is calm. All is as it should be, and the world, carried gently on the sound of bronze, continues to awaken slowly, softly, beautifully. The novice rises slowly from beneath the olive tree, feet pressing lightly into the soft earth. The garden seems to sigh with him, a gentle acknowledgement of his presence, its leaves brushing softly against his robes as he moves. He takes a moment to glance once more at the fountain, watching the water ripple lazily in the sun, and feels the memory of the bell's toll lingering in the air. He steps onto the stone path, barely making a sound, each footfall a whisper against the paving. The herbs sway gently, sending forth their calm fragrance, and the birds shift in the branches, their tiny movements slow and careful, mirroring the soft rhythm of his walk. As he approaches the arches of the cloister, the sunlight stretches across the floor in warm stripes. He pauses beneath one, resting a hand on the cool stone, letting the texture and temperature remind him of all who walked here before, monks whose footsteps once mingled with his own. He breathes in, deeply, fully, and allows the calm of the garden to accompany him into the cloister's shadowed corridors. The walls rise around him, their surfaces echoing faintly with the memory of sound. Even the silence feels alive, softly vibrating with the history of centuries. The novice's steps are slow, deliberate, each one a continuation of the rhythm he created above, as though the peace of the bell has now descended into his very bones. He passes the small alcove where the candle burns, its flame steady in the morning draft. He pauses, letting the flickering light catch his gaze. For a moment, he imagines the monks of long ago, kneeling in that same quiet, their voices rising and falling with prayers carried on air, much like the bell's echoes. The novice continues onward, moving past the library and the hallways, past the arches and the stone benches, letting the gentle rhythm of the morning guide him toward the monastery's interior. The sunlight filters through narrow windows, casting golden patterns on walls, and he walks through them slowly, deliberately, feeling the calm seep deeper with each step. A faint breeze drifts through the corridors, carrying scents from the garden, rosemary, sage, lavender, softly blending with the warmth of stone and wax. He breathes it in, allowing it to fill him completely, a final lullaby of the morning. In the quiet of the monastery, he feels the rhythm of his own breath, the faint pulse of his heartbeat, and the lingering echo of the bell. All of it merges into a single, soft awareness, a sense that he is fully present, both in the world and within himself, carried gently by the memory of the morning's devotion. The novice's eyes soften, his shoulders relax. He moves forward slowly, each step a continuation of the peace he has cultivated, a quiet offering to the day that now unfolds around him. The novice reaches the inner chambers of the monastery, where the scent of polished wood mingles with faint traces of incense. Soft light filters through high windows, casting long, warm bands across the stone floor. He pauses for a moment, letting the calm of the garden, the memory of the bell, and the gentle rhythm of his own breathing settle fully into his body. Ahead, the hall opens into the chapel. Benches rise in quiet rows, empty now, waiting for the monks to arrive. Candles flicker faintly along the altar, their flames small but steady, casting a soft glow that seems to stretch into the shadows. The novice steps carefully, feeling the cool stone beneath his sandals, each footfall measured, gentle, deliberate. He moves toward a low wooden bench, sliding onto it with care, hands resting softly in his lap. He allows himself to feel the lingering resonance of the bell. Its echo still vibrates faintly in his chest, a quiet hum that reminds him of the vastness of the morning, the interconnectedness of sound, life, and presence. The room is hushed, but alive with tiny whispers, the soft creak of wood, the faint rustle of robes, the distant hum of life outside the chapel walls. The novice closes his eyes for a moment, imagining the village below, each person touched subtly by the bell's gentle song. He feels the rhythm of their waking day flowing into him, blending seamlessly with his own heartbeat. A beam of sunlight shifts across the altar, lighting up a single candle, making the wax glow like liquid gold. The novice notices the play of light and shadow, the way warmth and coolness meet on the stone floor, and allows the small beauty to fill him entirely, as if every detail were a note in a quiet symphony. He inhales slowly, the air fragrant with incense and the faint herbal scent from the garden, and exhales fully, letting go of any trace of tension, any worry that lingered overnight. His mind drifts gently, moving like the soft, endless ripples of the fountain, or the slow sway of the bell as it tolled across the valley. In this stillness, he feels both grounded and weightless. He remembers the centuries of monks who have walked these halls, the prayers whispered softly in the same spaces, the devotion that rose quietly before sunrise, and he senses himself as part of a long, gentle current that carries peace, continuity, and calm. The novice lifts his gaze slowly, noticing the altar again, the candles, the faint shimmer of sunlight across the stone. The memory of the bell lingers, a soft hum, a heartbeat in the silence, reminding him that his small gestures, each pull of the rope, each toll, carry more than sound. They carry presence, attention, care, and a quiet, enduring blessing upon the world. Soft footsteps approach the chapel now. The monks, one by one, enter the quiet space, their robes brushing the stone floor with gentle whispers. They move without haste, carrying with them the weight of centuries-old devotion. Yet their steps are light, careful, deliberate. Each footfall a note in the cathedral of calm. The novice has already begun. The novice remains seated, hands folded gently in his lap, feeling the subtle vibration of presence that each monk brings. There is no rush, no urgency, only a quiet unfolding. He listens to the faint shuffle of fabric, the soft sigh of breath, the gentle settling of bodies onto wooden benches, and lets it all blend into a harmonious lullaby. A single candle flickers along the altar, its flame steady despite the faint morning draft. The novice's eyes drift to it, noticing the subtle glow across the polished wood and stone. The warmth of light seems to fill the room, softening edges, painting the walls in gentle hues of gold and amber, matching the lingering calm of the garden outside. The head monk, moving quietly, takes his place near the altar, his presence serene and assured. His robes whisper faintly with every motion, and the novice notices how each gesture seems like a continuation of the bell's slow rhythm. It is a rhythm not imposed, but breathed, flowing naturally, inviting everyone into a shared calm. Outside, the sun rises higher. Its warmth stretches through the windows, touching the backs of benches, the edges of candles, and even the smooth stone floor beneath the novice's feet. The garden beyond glimmers in response, each leaf, each herb, each petal a tiny mirror reflecting the subtle peace that has spread through the monastery. The novice closes his eyes briefly, allowing the atmosphere to wash over him completely. He hears a faint murmur of whispered prayers, soft voices carrying devotion and care. He imagines the bell above, still resting after its morning toll. Its bronze surface, warm from the sun, its voice lingering softly in the air. He feels the continuity of time, the flow of centuries, the gentle certainty that every small act of care leaves a ripple in the world. He breathes slowly, each inhalation filling him with light, each exhalation releasing tension, all movements slow, deliberate as the bells toll. His heart aligns with the rhythm of the monks, with the pulse of sunlight across stone, with the hum of the garden beyond the walls. The novice senses a deep harmony, a seamless connection of self, space, and time. Everything, the bell, the garden, the air, the sun, the monks, flows together in a quiet song. It is a song without words, only presence, only soft vibration, a lullaby of morning calm that spreads gently, endlessly, into the world and into the heart. The morning prayers begin. Soft voices rise in gentle chant, each note floating like a feather in the warm sunlight. The novice remains seated, hands folded lightly, feeling the vibration of voices ripple through the chapel, blending with the memory of the bell and the soft hum of the garden beyond the walls. The rhythm of chant carries slowly, deliberately, like water flowing over smooth stones. Each word seems to stretch in the air, each pause a small universe of calm. The novice closes his eyes, allowing the sound to sink deep, to fill the quiet chambers of his mind, and to merge with his own breath, slow, steady, and meditative. He feels the air shift around him, warm with sunlight, scented faintly with incense, and notices the gentle sway of shadows on the stone floor. The monks' movements are minimal, their gestures soft, deliberate, each action a continuation of devotion, a dance of care that touches every corner of the chapel. The novice imagines the village outside, each home, each window, each sleeping soul receiving the calm that rises here. He visualizes the bell above the cloister, its bronze voice now resting, yet still vibrating faintly in the morning air, a thread connecting him, the monks, and the world below. Each breath he takes seems to flow outward, carrying quiet into every distant corner. He listens to the subtle textures of sound, the shifting of robes, the soft intake of breath, the faint flicker of candlelight, all forming a gentle tapestry that wraps around him. The rhythm of the morning deepens, each chant a small pulse of presence, each pause a lull in which the world seems to exhale. The novice feels himself merging with the moment, his mind softening. Every thought slowing like drops of water, spilling into a still pond. He senses the continuity of all things. Stone, wood, light, air, and the countless hearts that have passed through this sacred space. A lineage of calm that flows gently into him, and will flow outward again, carried in subtle waves of presence. He breathes deeply, slowly, feeling the warmth of sunlight on his skin, the soft vibrations of chant in his chest, and the tender pulse of life surrounding him. Every inhale brings calm. Every exhale releases tension, until there is nothing but the gentle flow of the moment, the rhythm of the morning, and the soft continuity of sound and being. Outside, the garden sways, the fountain ripples in harmony, and the sun continues its slow ascent. Inside, the chapel hums with devotion, and the novice rests within it all. A part of the morning, a keeper of quiet, a witness to the soft, unfolding miracle of a day awakened gently by sound. The novice remains seated, his mind drifting softly like clouds across a pale morning sky. He imagines the day stretching before him, gentle and unhurried. Each task an opportunity to carry the calm he has felt into every movement, every breath, every glance. The chapel is quiet now, the final echoes of the morning chant lingering in the air. Candles flicker faintly, casting playful shadows across the walls, as though even the stone itself participates in the slow, deliberate unfolding of the day. The novice lets himself notice every detail, every nuance of light and sound, each one a small blessing, a gentle lullaby for the soul. He rises softly, feeling the memory of the bell still hum in his chest, a quiet companion as he steps from the bench. The stone floor is cool beneath his sandals, each step measured, soft, and deliberate. The air carries the faint scent of incense, mixed with herbs from the garden, a fragrance that lingers in his senses and draws him further into the rhythm of the morning. He walks slowly toward the cloister, pausing beneath arches to feel the warmth of sunlight, to notice the delicate shadows that stretch across stone and tile. The garden calls to him gently, its calm beauty mirrored in the ripple of the fountain, in the sway of lavender and rosemary, and in the quiet hum of the morning breeze. He inhales deeply, letting the air fill him completely, soft, warm, and fragrant. As he moves, he reflects on the small joys of the day ahead, the soft weight of the rope in his hands, the sound of the bell rising gently into the valley, the calm presence of the monks around him, and the quiet rhythm of life in the monastery. Every thought drifts slowly, without hurry or urgency, like leaves carried on a gentle stream. He reaches the stone bench beneath the olive tree once more, pausing to rest briefly, to feel the sun on his face, the gentle brush of the breeze against his robes. He closes his eyes, listening to the faint sounds of life, a bird's song, the rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of the village awakening below. All of it is calm, all of it deliberate, all of it a soft echo of the bell's morning song. The novice sits in quiet reflection, aware of the continuity of moments, the rhythm of breath, the pulse of the earth, and the gentle connection between all things. He feels the day opening around him, softly, slowly, deliberately, each unfolding moment a gift, each sound a gentle reminder of presence, each breath a lullaby of peace. The sun climbs steadily, the garden glows with warmth, and the novice remains wrapped in the gentle embrace of bell, garden, sunlight, and stone. He breathes deeply, slowly, deliberately, feeling the morning, the world, and himself as one continuous, flowing, serene melody. The novice rises once more, moving with the soft grace of someone who carries the morning within him. Each motion is deliberate, hands brushing lightly across the smooth stone walls, fingers lingering for a moment on the cool surface. He breathes deeply, feeling the calm settle deeper into his body with each step. The garden stretches before him, bathed in soft gold sunlight. He notices the dew, still clinging to the lavender, the way rosemary needles bend slightly in the breeze, and the gentle ripple of the fountain, its surface sparkling as if reflecting the very rhythm of the bell. He inhales slowly, letting the fragrant air fill his lungs, soft, warm, and calming, each breath a quiet lullaby for the spirit. He begins his small duties for the morning, softly tending to the herbs, trimming with gentle care, watching the sun highlight every curve of leaf and flower. Each snip of scissors is deliberate, each motion slow and mindful, as though he is composing a quiet melody of attention and care. Birds flit through the garden, their wings brushing lightly against the morning air, and the novice pauses to watch their delicate dance. He notices the way sunlight catches the tiny feathers, the way their shadowed movements ripple across stone paths, and feels a deep sense of connection, as if the bell's echo now lives within every living thing around him. He moves next to the fountain, scooping water in his hands, letting it cascade gently back into the basin, listening to the soft splash, the gentle circle of sound that spreads and settles. He watches the sunlight dance across the ripples, each reflection a tiny glimmer of morning calm. As he walks along the cloister path, he touches the stone arches lightly, noticing their texture, their age, the faint warmth left by the sun's early rays. Every movement is careful, soft, deliberate, a meditation in motion, a continuity of the rhythm he began with the bell, a slow unfolding of serenity into the day. He pauses beneath a window, watching the village stir below. A cart rolls gently along a cobblestone lane, a cat stretches lazily on a windowsill, and a farmer steps into his field with measured care. The novice smiles softly, aware that his morning song, his gentle attention to sound, light, and motion, has extended beyond the monastery walls, touching the world in small, subtle ways. The sun climbs steadily, and the novice feels fully immersed in the calm of the morning. Every breath, every motion, every glance is soft, intentional, and deliberate. The day stretches before him, a continuation of the bell's gentle echo, and he moves forward with serenity, carrying the quiet rhythm into everything he does. Having finished his gentle work in the garden, the novice walks slowly toward the monastery's inner halls. His sandals make soft, whispering steps against the stone floor, each one deliberate, mindful, echoing faintly through the quiet corridors. He feels the lingering calm of the bell and the garden wrap around him like a soft, warm cloak. The halls are cool and shaded, yet filled with the gentle glow of sunlight filtering through narrow windows. Dust motes float lazily in the air, catching the light and dancing slowly, like tiny stars in the quiet morning. The novice notices them, allowing each floating mote to become a point of calm focus, a gentle anchor for his drifting mind. He passes the scriptorium, where scrolls and books lie in careful stacks, their pages soft and worn from centuries of use. The scent of parchment, faint and earthy, mingles with the lingering fragrance of the garden. He brushes his fingertips along the edges of a few tomes, feeling the textured leather and delicate fibers, and imagines the hands of monks who read and wrote here long ago. A soft breeze drifts through the open window, stirring the edges of his robes and carrying the subtle scent of herbs. He inhales slowly, letting it fill him completely, then exhales, releasing any tension, allowing the calm to flow steadily through his body. Each breath is deliberate, each step gentle, as if the rhythm of the bell still flows through him, guiding every motion. He reaches a small alcove where a single candle flickers, its flame dancing quietly in the soft draft. The novice pauses to watch, noticing how the light bends and stretches across the stone walls. He imagines it as a tiny echo of the larger light outside, and feels a sense of continuity, as though the calm of the bell, the garden, and this flame are all woven together in a single, flowing thread of serenity. He continues along the hall, noticing the gentle patterns of sunlight and shadow, the smooth stone beneath his feet, the faint whisper of distant life moving in other rooms. Every detail, however small, is magnified in his awareness, each one a note in the ongoing lullaby of the monastery morning. Finally, he reaches the doorway that leads to the main hall, the place where the monks gather for their daily routines. He pauses for a moment, feeling the weight of centuries, the quiet devotion of countless hands and hearts, and the gentle, lingering echo of the bell that began his morning. He breathes deeply, slowly, anchoring himself fully in the serenity of this space. Ready to move with calm presence through whatever the day brings, the novice steps quietly into the main hall, where the other monks are already moving with gentle care. Their movements are soft, unhurried, deliberate, like water flowing over smooth stones, and he matches his pace to theirs, breathing in rhythm with the subtle, shared pulse of the morning. He notices the way light spills through the tall windows, painting golden stripes across the benches and floor. The air carries the faint fragrance of incense, mixed with the lingering scents from the garden. Every inhale feels like a sip of calm. Every exhale releases tension, and the novice lets the rhythm of breath guide his mind into a state of complete serenity. The monks begin their morning reflections, soft murmurs blending with the faint creak of wooden benches. The novice listens carefully, absorbing the gentle cadence of their voices, noticing how each word rises and falls, how each pause is deliberate, and allowing it all to merge with the memory of the bell still ringing softly in his mind. He walks slowly along the hall, his eyes tracing the worn stone floors, the smooth arches above, the flickering candles that cast delicate shadows. Everything seems infused with quiet purpose, and he feels part of a living rhythm that stretches through every corner of the monastery. Each step, each glance, each small action is both mindful and meditative, a continuation of the bell's morning song. Outside, the garden sways lightly in the breeze. The fountain ripples with gentle motion, and birds move quietly among the herbs. The novice imagines their soft movements echoing the rhythm of the hall, the continuity of care and presence that carries seamlessly from the tower to the cloister to the world beyond. He pauses at a low wooden table, where simple tasks await arranging herbs, tidying small items, and he performs each one with deliberate gentleness. His fingers brush lightly across every surface, noticing textures, the way sunlight catches edges, and how the faint scents and sounds around him blend into a seamless lullaby of calm. As he works, he reflects quietly, feeling the continuity of life in the monastery, the echo of bells, the rhythm of breath, the pulse of every hand and heart that has walked these halls. He feels a deep connection to the present moment, anchored in stillness, yet alive to every gentle sensation of light, air, and sound. The novice lets his thoughts drift softly, like clouds floating across a pale morning sky. Every inhale fills him with light. Every exhale releases the last traces of tension. The rhythm of his breath aligns with the soft movement of the monks, with the lingering memory of the bell, and with the slow, unfolding serenity of the day. With his morning duties complete, the novice moves slowly through the monastery corridors, his footsteps soft, almost imperceptible, blending with the gentle rustle of robes and the faint murmur of distant voices. The walls, warm from the sun's early rays, seem to embrace him with quiet stability, and every breath carries the lingering fragrance of herbs and incense. He pauses beneath an arched window, watching sunlight pour across the cloister garden. The lavender glows softly, rosemary bends with the breeze, and the fountain's water shimmers with calm, steady ripples. Birds move lazily among the branches, their wings brushing against the morning air, adding subtle motion to the serene tableau before him. The novice walks along the corridor, noticing the delicate textures of stone and wood, the tiny imperfections smoothed by centuries of hands, the subtle shifts in light and shadow. Every detail becomes a gentle focus for his attention, a soft anchor for his mind as he drifts deeper into the rhythm of the day. Passing the scriptorium, he glimpses the stacks of books and scrolls, the edges worn, pages yellowed, and imagines the countless monks who have read and written here. The quiet dedication of their hands and hearts seems to flow into the very air, and the novice breathes it in, feeling the continuity of calm stretching across centuries. He reaches the inner hall, where the sunlight spills through high windows, casting long, gentle beams across the stone floor. The warmth settles softly against his skin, and he pauses to notice the dance of light and shadow, the way it stretches and bends across walls and benches. Each subtle movement of sunlight, each flicker of shadow, adds to the ongoing lullaby of the monastery morning. He steps lightly to a low wooden bench, resting his hands gently upon it, and closes his eyes for a moment. The faint hum of distant voices, the whisper of wind through the garden, and the soft memory of the bell meld together into a slow, calming cadence. He feels himself moving with it. Each breath, each heartbeat, a part of the larger rhythm of presence and peace. The novice rises slowly, continuing his gentle walk through the hallways, noticing every small detail, the smooth arches, the cool stone beneath his feet, the flickering of candles in quiet corners. Everything is alive with subtle motion, yet perfectly calm, as if the entire monastery has settled into the gentle rhythm he carries within him. Outside, the garden sways quietly in the breeze. The fountain ripples softly, and the sunlight climbs higher, casting a warm glow on the monastery walls. The novice breathes deeply, feeling fully immersed in the quiet harmony. Each step and movement an extension of the bell's tender, lingering song. The novice turns gently toward the tower, walking slowly through the monastery grounds, each footstep soft against the stone path. The sunlight now bathes the entire cloister, warming the herbs, glinting off the fountain, and casting soft golden hues across the walls and arches. He inhales deeply, letting the fragrance of rosemary, lavender, and sage fill his lungs, and exhales slowly, releasing any lingering tension. As he climbs the spiraled staircase to the bell tower once more, the stone feels familiar and comforting beneath his hands. The echo of each step is faint, a soft reminder of the rhythm he began with the first toll of the bell. The breeze drifts in through the open windows, bringing with it the faint sense of earth and morning dew, and the novice allows the gentle current of air to calm his mind further. At the top of the tower, he pauses beside the bronze bell. It rests quietly now, still warm from the morning sunlight. He traces the smooth surface with his fingertips, remembering the soft pull of the rope, the vibration that carried sound across the village, and the tender calm it left in its wake. The memory hums softly, a lullaby for both heart and mind, and he leans gently against the bell, feeling the connection between sound, stone, and sky. He gazes out across the village below, watching rooftops glint in the sunlight, smoke rising softly from chimneys, and villagers moving with the calm pace of morning tasks. The bell's soft echo seems to linger in the air, a thread weaving through fields, gardens, and homes, touching each life with quiet presence, reminding all who hear it of continuity, care, and gentle rhythm. The novice closes his eyes for a long moment, letting the wind brush softly against his face, feeling the warmth of the sun and the subtle pulse of the tower beneath him. He breathes in serenity, breathes out all worry, and allows himself to float in the rhythm of the morning. The memory of the bell, a slow, calming heartbeat in his chest. He leans back lightly, listening to the soft rustle of leaves, the distant hum of the village, the occasional chirp of a bird returning to its nest. Everything moves in gentle harmony, and he feels a deep sense of connection to the bell, the garden, the monastery, the village, and the world beyond. Each element flows seamlessly into the next, like water moving slowly over polished stones. Finally, he settles in quietly, feeling fully immersed in the stillness and calm. The sunlight warms him, the breeze kisses his skin, and the echo of the morning bell lingers as a soft lullaby. He breathes, slow and deliberate, each inhale bringing peace, each exhale releasing tension, and allows the serene rhythm of the day to carry him into the gentle embrace of mid-morning calm. The novice remains quietly in the bell tower, letting the gentle warmth of the sun and the soft breeze settle over him. He watches the shadows shift slowly across the monastery walls, tracing the passage of the morning into early afternoon. Each movement of light seems deliberate, a subtle pulse that mirrors the quiet rhythm of his own breath. He leans lightly against the cool bronze of the bell, feeling the smooth metal beneath his fingertips. Its faint warmth hums softly, reminding him of the morning tolls, and the calm he carried into every corner of the cloister and village. The memory of each echo is gentle, like ripples on a still pond, and he allows it to fill him completely, softly lulling his mind toward serenity. From his vantage point, the garden glows in soft, tranquil colors. The fountain sparkles with sunlit ripples. Herbs sway delicately in the breeze, and the trees bend slightly, whispering their leaves against each other. The novice imagines himself as part of the scene, moving slowly through the air and light. His presence gentle and unhurried, his spirit in perfect harmony with all that surrounds him. He begins a slow, mindful descent down the spiral staircase, each step measured and soft, feeling the solid stone beneath his sandals. The cool air inside the tower mixes with the warmth of the sunlit garden beyond, and he breathes it in deeply, letting the combination of scents and temperatures anchor him fully in the present moment. Reaching the cloister, he moves along the stone paths, noticing the gentle sway of herbs and flowers, the soft rustle of leaves above, and the subtle songs of birds returning to their midday rest. He imagines the bell's morning song stretching outward, its lingering echo touching every corner of the village below, and feels a quiet satisfaction in the continuity of calm he has helped nurture through his soft devotion. He pauses beneath the olive tree once more, placing a hand lightly on its textured trunk, feeling the pulse of life through the centuries-old bark. The breeze brushes his robes, the sun warms his face, and he breathes in, slow and deliberate, feeling the gentle rhythm of existence flow through him like a soft lullaby. The novice sits quietly, letting the world move around him, aware of every whisper of wind, every ripple of water, every distant sound. He notices the subtle interplay of light and shadow, the smooth stone beneath him, and the lingering presence of the bell's echo in his chest. Each inhale brings a sense of peace, each exhale releases any tension, and he drifts softly into the gentle flow of afternoon calm. The novice rises slowly beneath the olive tree, feeling the gentle warmth of sunlight on his skin. He begins to wander through the monastery's herb gardens, each step soft and deliberate, as if the stone path itself whispers a welcome beneath his sandals. The herbs sway gently in the breeze, their fragrance rosemary, sage, lavender mixing into a soft, calming melody. He pauses beside the fountain, listening to the faint ripples of water as it moves gracefully over smooth stones. Sunlight dances across the surface, creating tiny, shimmering reflections that float like golden feathers. The novice dips a hand lightly into the cool water, letting it slide softly through his fingers, and feels a quiet satisfaction in the simplicity of this gentle motion. Birds move quietly among the branches, their tiny wings brushing the morning air. The novice watches them, imagining their movement as a soft echo of the bell's rhythm, each flutter and hop a note in a serene symphony of life. The breeze carries their song to him, a subtle, soothing hum that blends seamlessly with the rustle of leaves and the gentle splash of the fountain. He walks slowly along the garden path, touching the smooth stones of the edging, noticing the delicate textures of leaves and petals, the subtle gradients of light on each surface. Every detail becomes a soft focus for his awareness, each one a tiny anchor for his drifting mind, drawing him further into the rhythm of calm. Pausing beneath an archway, he lets sunlight spill over his shoulders, feeling warmth mingle with the cool air of shaded corridors. He notices the faint patterns of shadow dancing across the walls, the subtle hum of life in distant rooms, and the lingering scent of incense that drifts faintly through the halls. It all combines into a lullaby of senses, a slow, deliberate harmony of light, sound, and fragrance. He stops at a low bench, sitting quietly, with hands resting lightly in his lap. He closes his eyes for a moment, listening to the subtle echoes of his surroundings, the fountain, the breeze, the gentle movement of birds, and the faint memory of the morning bell that still hums softly in his chest. Every inhale brings serenity, every exhale releases tension, and he drifts further into the calm embrace of the monastery. The novice rises once more, walking slowly through the cloister corridors, noticing the play of sunlight through narrow windows, the smooth texture of stone underfoot, and the faint, reassuring warmth of the walls. Every step, every breath, every glance is soft, deliberate, and meditative, a continuation of the gentle rhythm that began with the bell. He pauses, leaning lightly against a column, breathing in deeply and feeling the soft pulse of life flowing around him through the garden, the hallways, the fountain, the sunlight, and the quiet presence of every soul in the monastery. All is calm, all is deliberate, and the novice feels perfectly aligned with the serene heartbeat of the day. The novice notices a narrow archway, partially hidden by the soft sway of climbing ivy. Curious, he steps lightly through it, each footfall deliberate, soft against the cool stone. Sunlight filters in from a small window above, dust motes dancing lazily in the quiet air, and he feels a subtle shift, as if entering a secret, sacred space. Inside the alcove, the air is cooler, stiller, carrying the faint scent of old wood and stone. A single candle rests in a carved niche, its flame flickering gently, casting soft, wavering shadows across the walls. The novice pauses, letting the calm of this hidden corner wash over him, the quiet and solitude a gentle balm for the spirit. He notices a small wooden bench, smooth from centuries of hands, and sits lightly, hands resting softly in his lap. The alcove seems to embrace him, as though the walls themselves exhale serenity. Outside, the garden hums with life, but here, within this gentle retreat, the sounds are faint, softened, almost like a lullaby. He closes his eyes, allowing the faint warmth of the candle and the gentle stream of sunlight to settle in his senses. He imagines the morning bell echoing softly, its resonance still alive in his chest, a slow, steady pulse that aligns with his breath. Each inhale fills him with calm, each exhale releases tension, and his mind drifts effortlessly into serenity. The alcove seems to exist outside of time, a quiet pocket where centuries of devotion and whispered prayers linger in the stone. The novice breathes in, noticing the textures, the smooth walls, the faint scent of incense, the soft warmth of sunlight on his skin. He imagines the monks who once rested here, the hands that touched these surfaces, the quiet moments of reflection, and feels the continuity of calm stretching across generations. A soft breeze drifts through the small window, stirring the flame gently, and he feels the rhythm of life moving through this space. The rustle of leaves outside, the faint sound of water in the fountain, and the lingering echo of the morning bell combine into a gentle, enveloping lullaby. He lets the sounds, light, and scents flow over him, softening every muscle, calming every thought. The novice leans back lightly, hands resting on his knees, and breathes deeply, slowly, deliberately. The world outside continues, but here, within this alcove, time seems suspended. Each moment, a soft echo of the morning's gentle rhythm. He allows his mind to drift, carried on the soft waves of presence, each breath a continuation of the serene lullaby. He feels fully immersed in the quiet, aware of the harmony between himself, the space, and the lingering presence of the bell. Every inhale is a soft note, every exhale a gentle wave, and he drifts deeper into the soothing, ASMR-like rhythm of this hidden, sacred sanctuary. The novice rises slowly from the alcove, feet pressing gently against the cool stone floor. He takes a soft breath, feeling the lingering calm of the hidden space wrap around him like a warm, invisible cloak. Each step, as he walks back toward the central courtyard, is measured and quiet, the soft echo of his sandals a gentle companion to the stillness. Sunlight spills through the arched windows, warming his shoulders and illuminating the smooth paths of the cloister. He notices the subtle sway of the vines climbing the walls, the gentle shimmer of dew lingering on herbs, and the faint ripple of the fountain's water, its quiet motion like a tender heartbeat beneath the surface. Passing through the corridor, he pauses briefly to touch the cool, smooth surface of a stone column. The texture is comforting beneath his fingertips, a reminder of the centuries of hands that have passed here before him. The faint scent of old wood and parchment drifts from a nearby scriptorium, mixing with the garden's fragrance in a soft, calming melody. He inhales slowly, letting the combined aromas fill his senses, and exhales, releasing any remaining tension. Emerging into the courtyard, he feels the warmth of the sun fully embrace him. Birds move quietly among the trees, rustling leaves that cast dancing shadows across the stone paths. He takes a slow, deliberate walk along the garden edges, noticing the subtle gradient of colors, the tender bend of rosemary and lavender, and the faint shimmer of morning dew on the petals. Every small detail becomes a note in the quiet symphony of the day. The fountain ripples softly in the center of the courtyard, and the novice pauses, placing his hands lightly on the cool edge. He watches the water shimmer in the sunlight, its gentle motion reflecting the rhythm of the bell that has guided him since dawn. He imagines the sound of the morning tolls, carrying softly into the village below, touching rooftops, gardens, and hearts with quiet reassurance and peace. He continues his walk slowly, deliberately, noticing how the shadows stretch and shrink with the sun's climb. Every step is a meditation, every breath a soft, gentle pulse. He feels a deep connection to the world around him, to the stone paths, the fountain, the garden, the wind, and the quiet, enduring presence of the bell that began his day. Finally, he pauses beneath a tree, leaning lightly against its trunk, hands resting softly in his lap. The sun warms his face, the faint breeze brushes his robes, and the gentle sounds of courtyard life combine into a soothing, flowing lullaby. He breathes deeply, slowly, and allows the calm of the monastery to settle fully within him. Each inhale and exhale a soft echo of the bell's serene song. The novice sits quietly beneath the tree, feeling the steady pulse of life around him. Birds sing softly in the branches above, their wings brushing the air in delicate arcs. And the fountain ripples gently in the center of the courtyard. Every sound, every movement blends seamlessly into a slow, calming rhythm that wraps around him like a soft blanket. He closes his eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, deliberately, feeling the gentle warmth of the sun on his skin. Each inhale brings a soft wave of serenity. Each exhale releases any lingering tension. The memory of the morning bell vibrates gently in his chest, a tender heartbeat that aligns with the world around him, and he allows it to guide him deeper into stillness. The novice notices the small details, the sway of lavender, the shimmer of sunlight across stone, the faint rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. He imagines the bell's sound spreading softly outward, touching every corner of the monastery and the village beyond. Each imagined toll carries tranquility, and he feels the rhythm of calm extending infinitely, a quiet thread connecting all things. He allows his awareness to expand, softly touching the distant hills, the sleeping rooftops of the village, and the fields gently stirred by the wind. Each breath carries this quiet presence outward, each heartbeat a soft echo of the bell. He feels entirely connected, yet perfectly at ease, immersed in the gentle continuity of the world's calm. A soft breeze brushes his face, and the novice imagines it as a whisper from the past, from monks who walked these paths centuries ago, their devotion and care lingering in the stone, the air, the garden. He breathes in the continuity, breathes out tension, and drifts deeper into a quiet meditation that feels suspended in time. The sunlight shifts slowly, casting gentle patterns across the courtyard, and the novice watches shadows stretch and soften, noticing the subtle beauty in every shift of light. He leans back lightly against a tree, hands resting in his lap, feeling the texture of bark, the warmth of sun, and the faint pulse of the fountain's water in the distance. Every sensation is gentle, deliberate, soothing. As he sits, his mind drifts lightly, like leaves floating on a calm stream. He remembers the morning's quiet rituals, the toll of the bell, the touch of stone and bronze, the fragrance of herbs, the rhythm of footsteps in the cloisterant, allows it all to merge into a flowing, serene lullaby. He inhales slowly, deeply, and exhales fully, feeling every fiber of his being relax into the gentle cadence of the day. The novice lets himself simply be, immersed in the soft harmony of garden, stone, and bell. The world hums quietly around him, and he rests completely, carried on the tender waves of presence, each breath a lullaby, each heartbeat a soft echo of the morning's serene song. The novice rises slowly from beneath the tree, his movements soft, deliberate, and measured. The sunlight now warms the courtyard more fully, casting long, gentle shadows across the stone paths. He breathes deeply, feeling the fragrant air of herbs and blossoms fill his lungs with calm serenity, and exhales, letting the tranquility settle into every muscle. He begins a slow, meditative walk toward the inner chapel, each step echoing faintly against the smooth stone floor. The courtyard seems to hum softly beneath his feet, each ripple in the fountain, each rustle of leaves, each fluttering bird a gentle accompaniment to his mindful journey. He notices the subtle interplay of light and shadow, the delicate sway of lavender, and the faint shimmer of sunlight on stone, allowing each detail to guide him deeper into serenity. Passing under a low arch, he glances into the cloister corridors, where sunlight spills through narrow windows, casting warm stripes across the cool, smooth floors. Dust motes drift lazily in the beams, catching the light and moving like tiny golden lanterns. He pauses for a moment, watching the gentle dance, and lets the quiet rhythm of light and motion seep into his mind. As he walks, he recalls the morning bell, its echo soft and lingering, flowing like a slow, melodic pulse throughout the monastery. He imagines the gentle toll reaching the village below, touching rooftops, gardens, and hearts with calm reassurance. Each step, each breath, each glance around him feels like a continuation of that serene melody, a quiet thread weaving the world into harmony. The novice reaches a small stone fountain along the way, its water glistening softly in the sunlight. He pauses, placing his hand lightly on the cool edge, noticing the gentle ripple and faint splash. The sound is delicate, like a whispered lullaby, and he breathes slowly, aligning his own pulse with the soft rhythm of water. He closes his eyes briefly, feeling a quiet connection between himself, the fountain, the garden, and the bell. Continuing on, he enters the shaded corridor leading directly to the chapel. The air is cooler here, stiller, carrying the faint scent of incense and old stone. Each step is soft and deliberate, his sandals brushing lightly against the floor, and he lets the subtle sounds guide him inward, deeper into calm, into the gentle embrace of sacred space. Finally, he reaches the chapel doorway, pausing to feel the cool stone beneath his fingertips, to notice the soft glow of sunlight on carved walls, and the faint flicker of candles within. He inhales slowly, fully, exhaling tension with each soft breath, and steps inside, carrying the quiet harmony of the morning into this new, peaceful sanctuary. The novice steps softly into the chapel, feeling the cool, smooth stone beneath his feet. The air is hushed, still, and carries a faint, sweet scent of incense. Sunlight streams gently through tall, narrow windows, casting warm, golden beams across the carved wooden pews. He inhales slowly, letting the subtle fragrance and warmth fill his lungs, and exhales, releasing any remaining tension from the morning. He moves down the aisle with slow, deliberate steps, noticing the soft echo that follows each footfall. The silence is comforting, almost musical, like a quiet lullaby made of stone and light. His eyes trace the intricate patterns of carved arches, the gentle play of sunlight on delicate curves, and the faint shadows that dance along the floor, all inviting his mind to drift deeper into serenity. The novice approaches a small wooden bench, smooth and worn from centuries of hands resting upon it. He sits quietly, letting his body sink gently into the familiar comfort. The subtle warmth of sunlight spills across his shoulders, and the faint flicker of candlelight dances in soft harmony with the daylight. He closes his eyes, listening to the gentle rhythm of his own breath, aligned with the quiet heartbeat of the chapel. Outside, a gentle breeze stirs the garden leaves, the faint sound of the fountain drifting softly in through the open window. The novice imagines the morning bell, still resonant in memory, its soft echo threading through the courtyard, the cloisters, and now, reaching this sacred space, he breathes in the calm of centuries past, the quiet devotion of countless monks, and allows their whispered presence to mingle with his own. Each inhale fills him with warmth and stillness. Each exhale releases the last traces of tension. He notices the subtle texture of the stone beneath his hands, the gentle sway of sunlight on carved wood, and the faint scent of incense lingering in the air. All these sensations flow together, creating a soft, continuous melody of calm. Time seems to slow, suspended in the hush of the chapel. The novice feels his body, his mind, and even his spirit settling fully into the quiet harmony around him. He imagines the soft tolling of the bell carried through stone and air, blending with the sunlight, the incense, and the distant rustle of leaves. It is a lullaby for the senses, a slow, deliberate rhythm that guides him gently toward rest. He leans back slightly on the bench, hands resting softly in his lap, and allows his thoughts to drift like clouds over a calm sky. Each detail, the smooth stone, the golden light, the gentle air, the memory of the bell folds into a single, soothing sensation. He breathes deeply, slowly, feeling the peace of the chapel seep fully into his being, and drifts ever deeper into the serene rhythm of the monastery day. The novice sits quietly in the chapel, letting the soft warmth of the afternoon sunlight wash over him. The golden beams drift slowly across the stone floor, touching the carved pews and smooth arches, and the gentle flicker of a single candle blends softly with the daylight. He inhales slowly, feeling the calm of this sacred space fill him completely, and exhales, releasing every lingering tension from his body. The faint hum of the monastery life outside reaches him, soft and distant, like a lullaby carried on the wind. He notices the gentle rustle of leaves through the open window, the shimmer of sunlight on the fountain in the courtyard, and the occasional delicate song of a bird moving above. Each sound weaves seamlessly with the memory of the morning bell, its soft echo threading through stone and air, touching everything with quiet rhythm and presence. The novice shifts slightly, resting his hands softly in his lap, allowing his fingers to trace the smooth curves of the wooden bench. The tactile sensation grounds him, bringing awareness to the present moment in a slow, soothing rhythm. He imagines the countless monks who have rested here before, their quiet devotion lingering in the walls, the floors, and the air, and feels a gentle connection across centuries, like a soft, invisible thread, linking all moments of serenity together. He breathes in deeply, imagining the air itself infused with calm, and exhales slowly, letting all thoughts drift away. Like leaves floating on a quiet stream, the sunlight shifts gently, creating new patterns of light and shadow across the stone floor. And the novice notices each change, allowing it to become a gentle focus for his mind, a soft meditation that deepens his sense of peace. Outside the chapel window, the garden moves quietly in the afternoon breeze. Herbs bending softly, petals quivering in gentle motion. The fountain ripples lightly, its water reflecting sunlight in delicate, fleeting patterns. The novice imagines himself moving slowly with these rhythms, his body, breath, and mind flowing gently in harmony with every subtle motion. Each inhale carries serenity, each exhale releases tension, and the soft cadence of life around him becomes a soothing, ASMR-like lullaby. He leans back further, closing his eyes completely, letting the warmth of sunlight and faint flicker of candlelight mingle with the soft sounds and scents around him. Time seems to slow, stretched into a soft, gentle continuum, where every sensation is magnified, yet calming, each heartbeat, breath, and thought blending seamlessly into the serene rhythm of the monastery afternoon. The novice feels fully immersed in this quiet harmony, his awareness soft and expansive, every detail of stone, wood, light, air, and sound flowing together in a continuous, tender lullaby. He breathes in, exhales, and allows the serene cadence of this sacred space to carry him gently, softly, toward deep relaxation and rest. The afternoon light begins to soften, casting gentle, warm hues across the chapel's stone floor. The novice remains seated, breathing slowly, deliberately, feeling the calm of the space settle deeper into his body. Each breath is a soft wave of serenity, each exhale releasing the last traces of tension. And the memory of the morning bell lingers softly in his chest, a tender rhythm that flows with the light itself. He opens his eyes and gazes out the window, watching sunlight slide down the arches and touch the garden below. Shadows stretch lazily, bending around the fountain and the herbs, while leaves quiver in the soft, warm breeze. The novice imagines the echo of the bell touching every corner of this quiet afternoon, a gentle song that threads through stone, air, and sunlit greenery. And he feels perfectly aligned with the calm pulse of the monastery. Rising slowly, he steps down the aisle, his sandals brushing the smooth stone floor softly, leaving faint, gentle echoes in their wake. He notices the way the sunlight catches the carved details of the pews, the subtle flicker of candlelight dancing along the walls, and the quiet rhythm of his own heartbeat as it merges with the quiet breathing of the chapel. Every step is deliberate, soothing, meditative, carrying him further into a sense of ease and tranquility. The novice pauses at the chapel doorway, feeling the cool stone under his fingertips, and takes a deep, slow breath of the warm, fragrant air. He listens to the soft murmur of life outside, the faint ripple of the fountain, the whisper of leaves brushing each other in the breeze. Each sound, each motion blends seamlessly into a continuous lullaby, soft and flowing, inviting the mind to drift gently toward calm and comfort. He walks through the courtyard with measured steps, noticing every texture and detail of the smooth stones, the subtle patterns of light and shadow, the gentle sway of herbs and flowers in the late afternoon air. The fountain sparkles softly in the sun, its ripples moving like a tender, rhythmic pulse. He imagines the bell's resonance carrying through the village, touching rooftops, gardens, and hearts with quiet reassurance, its slow cadence mirroring the calm, meditative pace of his own steps. The novice pauses beneath a tree, resting his hand on the rough bark, and feels the soft warmth of the late sun on his skin, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant song of birds, and the faint memory of the morning bell combine into a slow, flowing lullaby for the senses. He closes his eyes, breathes deeply, slowly, deliberately, and allows the tranquility of the monastery afternoon to settle fully within him, softly preparing him for the approach of evening calm. The afternoon light fades gently, softening into warm, golden hues that stretch across the courtyard. The novice walks slowly among the herbs and flowers, feeling the subtle cooling of the air as evening approaches. Every step is deliberate, soft, and unhurried. The rustle of leaves and the faint ripple of the fountain forming a quiet, soothing symphony around him. He pauses beneath the old olive tree, placing a hand lightly against its textured bark, feeling the pulse of life beneath his fingertips. The gentle breeze brushes his robes, bringing the subtle fragrance of lavender, sage, and rosemary. He inhales deeply, holding the calm in his chest, and exhales slowly, releasing all tension and lingering thoughts. The sun dips lower, casting long, gentle shadows across the stone paths. He notices the soft glow reflecting off the fountain, like liquid gold moving slowly with the ripples. Birds move quietly above, preparing for evening rest, and the faint hum of distant voices drifts in from the village below. Each detail, subtle and serene, becomes a delicate note in the ongoing lullaby of the day. He walks toward the cloister corridors, the smooth stones cool beneath his feet. The walls seem to absorb the fading sunlight, radiating a gentle warmth that contrasts with the softening air. The novice breathes in deeply, feeling the quiet rhythm of the monastery, its pulse echoing softly with the memory of the morning bell, and he allows himself to drift deeper into relaxation. Passing under an archway, he notices the first flicker of candlelight in the chapel. The glow is soft, comforting, and welcoming, casting delicate patterns along the floor and walls. He imagines the bell's echo mingling with the gentle light, its resonance a slow, tender hum carried across the stones. He pauses to feel the quiet intimacy of the space, its stillness wrapping around him like a soft, protective cloak. The novice moves slowly toward a small bench beneath a shaded window, sitting lightly, allowing his body to settle. The air is filled with the mingling scents of sun-warmed stone and herbs, and the faint flicker of candlelight creates a gentle, hypnotic rhythm. He closes his eyes, letting every sound, every texture, every flicker of light flow seamlessly together into a meditative lullaby. The world outside begins its quiet transition to evening, the village preparing for nightfall. The novice inhales the serenity, exhales any remaining tension, and lets the soft cadence of the monastery, the garden, the fountain, and the lingering bell carry him further into a state of deep relaxation. Each breath, each heartbeat, each subtle movement becomes a gentle step toward the calm embrace of twilight. The sun continues its slow descent, painting the monastery walls in gentle hues of gold and amber. The novice remains seated beneath the window, breathing slowly, deliberately, feeling the calm rhythm of twilight settle around him like a soft cloak. Every inhale brings warmth, every exhale releases tension, and the faint memory of the morning bell hums softly in his chest. Outside, the courtyard is bathed in a tender glow, the fountain reflecting streaks of fading sunlight like liquid fire rippling across smooth stones. Leaves quiver in the soft evening breeze, and distant birds call quietly to one another as they settle for the night. The novice notices each gentle motion, allowing it to become part of his inner lullaby, a slow, harmonious rhythm guiding him deeper into relaxation. He rises gently, moving toward the chapel, each step measured, deliberate, and soothing. The echo of his sandals against the stone is faint, softly merging with the subtle hum of evening life outside. Shadows lengthen along the walls, dancing in delicate patterns that feel like whispers of another world. He inhales the cool, fragrant air, letting it flow through him, blending with the lingering warmth of the sunlight and the soft memory of the bell. The novice pauses at the chapel doorway, noticing the delicate glow of candlelight flickering inside. He imagines the sound of the evening bell, its soft toll floating gently across the courtyard, its resonance carrying calm and reassurance to every roof, garden, and heart below. He leans lightly against the cool stone, feeling the quiet embrace of the monastery's rhythm wrap around him like a gentle lullaby. Slowly, he enters the chapel, feeling the cool stone beneath his feet and the soft scent of incense lingering in the air. The candles flicker tenderly, casting warm, golden patterns along the arches and walls. He moves to a small bench and sits lightly, allowing his body to settle fully, his hands resting softly in his lap, his mind drifting gently on the soft currents of sound, scent, and light. The novice closes his eyes, letting the faint evening breeze brush his face. The distant rustle of leaves and the soft hum of the fountain weaving seamlessly with the memory of the morning bell. Every inhale carries serenity, every exhale releases the day's lingering thoughts, and he drifts deeper into the gentle rhythm of twilight, the soft ASMR-like melody of monastery life lulling him further into calm. Time stretches, suspended in soft light and quiet presence. The novice breathes slowly, deeply, feeling the peaceful cadence of the courtyard, the garden, the chapel, and the soft, lingering resonance of the bell carry him gently toward the serene embrace of nightfall. He rests completely, immersed in the gentle flow of sounds, scents, and shadows, each one a tender step into deep relaxation. The soft glow of evening settles over the monastery, casting long, tender shadows across the courtyard. The novice remains seated in the chapel, hands resting lightly in his lap, breathing slowly, deeply, deliberately. Each inhale brings the cool calm of twilight. Each exhale releases the day's remaining tension, and the faint echo of the morning bell still hums softly in his chest, a gentle reminder of the day's serene rhythm. Outside, the courtyard hums softly with life winding down. The fountain ripples in quiet arcs, leaves rustle gently in the cooling breeze, and the faint song of birds returns as they settle in the branches for night. Every movement is deliberate and slow, each sound carrying a soft, ASMR-like quality that invites the novice's mind to drift further into relaxation. He rises gently and steps toward the evening bell tower, his sandals brushing lightly against the stone floor. The shadows stretch along the cloister walls, bending delicately around arches and columns. He inhales the fragrant air, scented faintly with herbs and candle wax, and exhales slowly, feeling every muscle soften. Each step is a meditation, each breath a lullaby, carrying him closer to the soft cadence of evening bells. Reaching the tower, he notices the bronze bell suspended high above, its surface smooth and cool to the touch. The fading sunlight reflects off its curves, casting soft golden highlights across the stone walls. He imagines the sound it will make, soft yet resonant, echoing gently over the village and the monastery, touching rooftops, gardens, and hearts with calm reassurance. He pulls gently on the rope, feeling the slow, steady sway of the bell. The first toll rings softly, echoing through the courtyard, through the cloisters, through the quiet village below. The novice feels the vibrations pass through his hands, through his chest, through the calm, settled deep inside him. Each successive toll is slow and deliberate, a rhythm that mirrors his own steady breathing, a soft melody that carries tranquility across the fading light. He lets his senses absorb the entire experience. The warm glow of twilight on the stone, the soft swaying of herbs in the evening breeze, the gentle ripple of the fountain, the lingering scent of incense and candle wax, and the tender, hypnotic echo of the bell. Every detail flows together seamlessly, forming a lullaby that calms the body, softens the mind, and quiets the spirit. The novice leans lightly against the tower wall, hands resting softly in his lap, eyes closed, fully immersed in the serene harmony of evening. The world feels expansive and gentle, yet intimate and protective, each breath, each heartbeat, each subtle sound blending into a continuous, soft cadence that carries him further into calm, peaceful relaxation. The novice finishes the slow, deliberate tolling of the evening bell, each soft echo drifting outward like a gentle wave. He feels the vibrations still humming through his hands, through the smooth stone beneath his feet, and into the calm settled deep in his chest. The village below is quiet, touched by the soft resonance, every home, garden, and pathway wrapped in a gentle lullaby. He steps lightly down the tower stairs, feet brushing the smooth stone with soft, rhythmic taps. Shadows lengthen further, blending seamlessly with the dimming light, and the faint rustle of leaves carries a calming, hypnotic quality. The air is cool and fragrant, scented with evening dew and herbs, and each inhale fills him with serenity, each exhale releasing the final traces of tension from the day. As he moves through the cloister, he notices the subtle play of candlelight along the walls, flickering gently across carved arches and smooth stone floors. He pauses at each corner, observing the soft movement of shadows, allowing the hypnotic patterns to guide him further into the tender rhythm of nightfall. His breath aligns with the quiet cadence of the monastery, and his mind drifts effortlessly into stillness. Passing the herb garden, he sees the fountain shimmer under the soft, fading glow of twilight. The leaves of lavender and rosemary quiver gently in the breeze, and he imagines the faint memory of the bell flowing like a delicate thread through each ripple, each leaf, each sound, each motion of the garden. It is a quiet, continuous lullaby that softens his body, stills his mind, and calms his spirit. He reaches the small alcove where he first discovered the hidden bench, now bathed in soft evening light. The air here feels cooler, stiller, and wrapped in gentle peace. He sits lightly, letting his body settle fully, hands resting in his lap, and allows his awareness to expand slowly, gently, flowing outward with the soft hum of twilight. The novice closes his eyes, feeling the subtle sway of the evening breeze against his robes, the tender pulse of the fountain in the distance, the soft rustle of leaves above, and the lingering echo of the morning and evening bells. Each sensation blends seamlessly into a gentle, hypnotic lullaby, a slow, deliberate rhythm that carries him further into calm, further into serenity, and prepares him for the gentle onset of sleep. He breathes slowly, fully, deeply, feeling the world around him soften, the light dim, and the monastery embrace him with tender quiet. Every inhale brings peace, every exhale releases tension, and he drifts ever deeper into the serene harmony of the monastery evening, immersed completely in the soft cadence of stone, air, water, light, and sound. The novice finishes the slow, deliberate tolling of the evening bell, each soft echo drifting outward like a gentle wave. He feels the vibrations still humming through his hands, through the smooth stone beneath his feet, and into the calm settled deep in his chest. The village below is quiet, touched by the soft resonance. Every home, garden, and pathway wrapped in a gentle lullaby. He steps lightly down the tower stairs, feet brushing the smooth stone with soft, rhythmic taps. Shadows lengthen further, blending seamlessly with the dimming light, and the faint rustle of leaves carries a calming, hypnotic quality. The air is cool and fragrant, scented with evening dew and herbs. And each inhale fills him with serenity, each exhale releasing the final traces of tension from the day. As he moves through the cloister, he notices the subtle play of candlelight along the walls, flickering gently across carved arches and smooth stone floors. He pauses at each corner, observing the soft movement of shadows, allowing the hypnotic patterns to guide him further into the tender rhythm of nightfall. His breath aligns with the quiet cadence of the monastery, and his mind drifts effortlessly into stillness. Passing the herb garden, he sees the fountain shimmer under the soft, fading glow of twilight. The leaves of lavender and rosemary quiver gently in the breeze, and he imagines the faint memory of the bell flowing like a delicate thread through each ripple, each leaf, each sound, each motion of the garden. It is a quiet, continuous lullaby that softens his body, stills his mind, and calms his spirit. He reaches the small alcove where he first discovered the hidden bench, now bathed in soft evening light. The air here feels cooler, stiller, and wrapped in gentle peace. He sits lightly, letting his body settle fully, hands resting in his lap, and allows his awareness to expand slowly, gently, flowing outward with the soft hum of twilight. The novice closes his eyes, feeling the subtle sway of the evening breeze against his robes, the tender pulse of the fountain in the distance, the soft rustle of leaves above, and the lingering echo of the morning and evening bells. Each sensation blends seamlessly into a gentle, hypnotic lullaby, a slow, deliberate rhythm that carries him further into calm, further into serenity, and prepares him for the gentle onset of sleep. He breathes slowly, fully, deeply, feeling the world around him soften, the light dim, and the monastery embrace him with tender quiet. Every inhale brings peace, every exhale releases tension, and he drifts ever deeper into the serene harmony of the monastery evening, immersed completely in the soft cadence of stone, air, water, light, and sound. The novice leans fully back against a stone alcove, letting his body soften completely into the cool, smooth surface beneath him. His hands rest lightly in his lap, and his mind drifts slowly, gently, like a leaf floating on a calm, quiet stream. The distant echoes of the evening bell linger softly in his chest, like a tender, rhythmic heartbeat carrying him deeper into relaxation. The monastery has settled completely into night. The courtyard is still, the fountain's ripples slow to a whisper, and the garden seems to breathe quietly, folding itself into gentle shadows. The novice imagines the faint flicker of starlight above, soft points of silver light twinkling gently, each one like a lullaby for the senses, blending seamlessly with the memory of the bell. He closes his eyes fully, letting the faint, cool night air brush softly against his face. Every inhale draws in serenity, every exhale releases any remaining trace of thought or tension. The subtle scent of herbs, candle wax, and stone blends into a calming, hypnotic melody, each detail a note in the gentle, continuous lullaby that carries him toward sleep. The novice feels a deep connection with the monastery around him. The stones, the arches, the cloisters, even the faint rustle of leaves and distant hum of water merge with the soft rhythm of his breathing. He imagines the memory of the morning, afternoon, and evening bells intertwining with the gentle sounds of the night. Each toll a soft wave of calm washing through his body, each pause a quiet moment of perfect stillness. He lets his awareness drift outward to the quiet village below, where rooftops and gardens rest under the soft embrace of twilight. The world feels tender, protective, and expansive, yet intimate and comforting. Every sound, every shadow, every faint movement is woven together into a soft, hypnotic cadence that aligns seamlessly with the slow, steady rhythm of his heart. The novice imagines the gentle rustle of leaves above, the faint shimmer of starlight, and the whispering memory of the bell carrying calm into every corner of the monastery. He breathes in the serenity, exhales fully, and allows the world, the night, and the soft echoes of devotion to cradle him gently into the tender embrace of sleep. As his body settles completely, the novice's mind drifts effortlessly, floating softly on the continuous, flowing melody of stone, light, air, and sound. Every detail, the texture of the stone, the cool night air, the distant echo of water, and the lingering resonance of the bells merges into a single, seamless lullaby, carrying him deeper into quiet, peaceful, restorative sleep. The novice lies fully reclined, hands resting lightly at his sides, body sinking into the comforting firmness of the stone alcove. His breath is slow, deep, and even, matching the quiet rhythm of the monastery night. Every inhalation draws in calm. Every exhalation releases the last traces of thought, allowing him to float deeper into a gentle, serene rest. Outside, the courtyard has become a soft, shadowed expanse. The fountain's ripples whisper quietly in the darkness. The leaves of the garden move only with the faintest hint of breeze, and the stars above shimmer tenderly, mirroring the subtle pulse of the evening bells. The novice imagines these small, delicate rhythms merging with the soft cadence of his own heartbeat, creating a lullaby that is quiet, endless, and soothing. He feels the cool stone beneath him, the faint warmth of the lingering candlelight, and the subtle scent of herbs drifting from the garden. Each sensation is amplified in the gentle stillness, yet soft, comforting, and caressing. His mind drifts along with the evening air, touching the distant village rooftops, the quiet pathways, and the sleeping gardens, feeling connected, yet perfectly at ease, wrapped in serenity. The novice imagines the tolling of the morning, afternoon, and evening bells, their gentle echoes now merged into a single, continuous note. It flows through the courtyard, through the cloisters, and even into the chapel, where candlelight still flickers faintly. He lets this slow, rhythmic resonance become the soft, guiding pulse of his rest, like a tender heartbeat carrying him further into peace. The gentle evening breeze brushes softly across his face, and he imagines it carrying the whispers of centuries past, of monks who walked these halls, who rang the bells, tended the gardens, and sat quietly in meditation. Their presence is gentle, comforting, and tender. The novice breathes deeply, feeling their calm merge with his own, forming an invisible cocoon of safety and rest. Time stretches slowly, suspended in the hush of night. The novice's mind, body, and spirit are fully immersed in the subtle rhythm of stone, air, water, and shadow. Every detail, the shimmer of starlight, the ripple of water, the soft echo of leaves, the faint memory of bells, flows seamlessly into a lullaby, guiding him ever deeper into restorative, peaceful sleep. He lets go completely, his awareness soft, expansive, and calm. Each breath becomes a gentle wave, each heartbeat a quiet echo of the monastery's serene rhythm. He drifts effortlessly, floating on the continuous melody of evening and night, settling fully into the tender, hypnotic embrace of the monastery, of silence, of night, and of dream. The novice drifts further into the soft embrace of night, his body fully relaxed, mind quiet, spirit gently sinking into the tender calm of the monastery. Every heartbeat is a gentle drum, a slow, steady echo that blends with the soft whisper of leaves, the faint ripple of the fountain, and the lingering resonance of the bells. He imagines the stars above, twinkling softly in the vast night sky, tiny points of silver light that mirror the rhythm of his breath. Each twinkle becomes a gentle lullaby, soft and hypnotic, flowing seamlessly through the courtyard, the cloisters, and into the chapel, where the candlelight still flickers tenderly. The world feels vast yet intimate, expansive yet protective, every corner touched by calm, every shadow softened by serenity. The novice lets his senses drift outward, imagining the quiet village below, the sleeping rooftops and gardens, the faint glow of hearth fires in distant homes. Every soft sound, every subtle movement becomes part of a continuous, flowing rhythm, like a gentle melody that wraps around the body, soothing muscles, quieting thoughts, and calming the mind. He feels the cool stone beneath him, the faint warmth of the night air, and the subtle scent of herbs, candle wax, and damp earth. Each detail, amplified in the stillness, becomes a tender touch, a soft note in the lullaby of the night. He imagines centuries of monks who walked these halls, rang the bells, and tended the gardens, their quiet devotion mingling with the gentle pulse of the evening. He breathes deeply, feeling their calm flow into him, like a gentle river carrying him deeper into peace. The echoes of the bells, now fully intertwined, resonate softly through stone, shadow, and air. Each toll, each reverberation, becomes a guiding thread in the tapestry of night, weaving together sound, scent, light, and motion into a single, soothing current that carries him further into rest. He imagines the fountain's soft ripples, the quivering of leaves in the gentle night breeze, the faint hum of distant life settling into slumber. Each breath, each heartbeat, each whisper of movement blends seamlessly with the soft, continuous melody of the monastery night. His awareness drifts like a feather, floating effortlessly in the tender embrace of shadow, stone, and sound. Time and thought dissolve. The novice is suspended in the hypnotic rhythm of the monastery, fully immersed in the ASMR-like lullaby of night. Every sensation, stone, air, water, leaves, distant bells, flows together into a seamless, gentle wave that carries him toward the deepest, most serene sleep, a sleep filled with calm, peace, and quiet wonder. The novice drifts fully into the gentle currents of sleep, his body relaxed, every muscle softened, his mind calm, clear, and quiet. The soft rhythm of the monastery night flows seamlessly through him. The echo of the bells, the whisper of leaves, the gentle ripple of the fountain, all merging into a tender, continuous lullaby. He imagines the stars above, tiny silver lights scattered across a vast, inky sky. They shimmer softly, each one a gentle pulse that mirrors the slow cadence of his breath. The world feels infinite, yet safe, a quiet, protective cocoon where every sound, scent, and touch is part of the tender rhythm guiding him deeper into rest. The novice feels the cool night air brush lightly against his face, the faint warmth of the stone beneath him anchoring him in gentle security. The subtle scent of herbs from the garden and the lingering flicker of candlelight meld into a soft, calming melody. He breathes slowly, fully, each inhalation drawing in serenity, each exhalation releasing the last threads of tension, letting the monastery's quiet embrace carry him further into peace. He envisions the distant village rooftops and gardens, all settling into slumber under the tender hush of night. Soft lights in windows twinkle faintly, mirroring the rhythm of the stars above. Every small movement, the swaying of leaves, the faint ripple of water, the gentle hum of night air, becomes part of a continuous, flowing rhythm, like a lullaby that surrounds him, wraps him, and guides him effortlessly into dreamlike calm. The novice's thoughts dissolve into soft, hypnotic waves. The echoes of the morning, afternoon, and evening bells blend into a single, soothing resonance, touching every corner of the monastery, flowing through stone, shadow, air, and light. His awareness drifts with this rhythm, expanding into the soft night, and yet remaining intimately connected with the quiet, tender details around him. He feels the gentle pulse of life in the monastery, the subtle movement of the air, the faint vibration of the bell's memory, and the soft hum of the fountain's water. Every sensation is amplified in the stillness, yet tender, comforting, and enveloping. His breath, heartbeat, and awareness merge seamlessly with the continuous melody of night, forming a gentle, ASMR-like lullaby that carries him deeper, softer, toward restorative sleep. Time stretches and folds in gentle waves. The novice floats fully within the serene rhythm of the monastery, immersed in shadow, stone, light, and sound. Every heartbeat, every breath, every soft whisper of wind guides him further into calm, deeper into serenity, and fully into the hypnotic, peaceful embrace of night. The novice drifts further into the tender flow of sleep, every inch of his body softened, every thought slowed, his mind blending seamlessly with the gentle rhythm of the monastery night. The faint echoes of the bells linger, their soft resonance threading through stone, air, and shadow, carrying him ever deeper into calm. Each toll, a subtle wave guiding him toward serene rest. He imagines the garden outside, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. The fountain ripples faintly, its surface catching silver light like liquid glass. Leaves quiver gently in the cool night breeze, and the faint scent of herbs rises softly, wrapping the novice in a calm, fragrant lullaby. Every detail is tender, deliberate, and hypnotic, a slow, continuous melody that soothes the body and mind. The novice's breath aligns perfectly with this gentle rhythm, slow and even, a quiet wave of inhalation and exhalation. His heartbeat resonates softly with the faint hum of the night, every beat a gentle drum echoing the tranquil pulse of the monastery. He imagines centuries of monks before him, their quiet devotion lingering in stone walls, arches, and pathways, their presence soft, comforting, and protective. It feels as though he floats within their calm, wrapped gently in a tapestry of serene stillness. The stars above twinkle with subtle, soothing light, each one a tiny pinprick of silver melody. The novice imagines their reflection in the fountain, the tiny sparkles merging with the faint glimmer of candlelight from the chapel. Every soft shimmer, ripple, and echo blends together into a flowing lullaby, hypnotic and endless, a river of gentle sound and sensation guiding him deeper into night. He imagines the village below, sleeping rooftops and gardens embraced by the same gentle hush. Even distant hearths seem to beat in quiet rhythm with the monastery, tiny flickers of light and warmth synchronizing with the calm pulse of night. The novice's awareness drifts effortlessly, soft, expansive, and tender, yet anchored in the intimate details of stone, air, water, and shadow. Every sensation, each subtle rustle, each soft ripple, the faint memory of the bells, the whisper of leaves, forms a seamless, hypnotic cadence. He floats fully within it, carried by the slow, gentle waves of sound and sensation, his body, mind, and spirit completely at ease. Time ceases, the world softens, and the tender embrace of night enfolds him fully, leading him into the deepest, most restorative, peaceful sleep. The novice drifts into the deepest layers of sleep, his body fully surrendered, every muscle soft and weightless, his mind calm, expansive, and serene. The monastery night wraps around him like a tender blanket, stone walls and arches, the cloistered paths, and the faint shimmer of candlelight, all breathing in harmony with his quiet, rhythmic pulse. The soft echo of the morning, afternoon, and evening bells lingers gently in the air, flowing like a slow, hypnotic river through the courtyard, the chapel, and the sleeping village beyond. Every toll, every pause, every faint vibration melds seamlessly with the whisper of leaves, the rippling of the fountain, and the subtle, cooling night breeze. It is a lullaby in sound, in rhythm, in life itself, a quiet, protective melody that guides him effortlessly deeper and deeper into restorative sleep. He imagines the stars above, silver pinpricks scattered across the velvet sky, their light flickering softly, a gentle echo of the bell's resonance. He breathes in the calm of the night, feeling each inhalation fill his body with serenity, each exhalation releasing the last threads of tension, until every fiber of his being feels weightless, floating within the tender rhythm of the monastery. The novice's mind drifts effortlessly through shadow and light, through stone corridors and quiet gardens, through the faint memory of centuries of devotion that lingers in every arch, every pathway, every quiet corner. The world feels tender, vast, and intimate all at once, a protective cocoon of serenity that envelops him completely. Every heartbeat, every gentle sigh, every soft thought becomes part of the seamless lullaby that carries him toward the most profound, peaceful sleep. The courtyard is hushed, the fountain whispers softly, leaves sway with the faintest caress of the night air, and the village lies quietly under a blanket of soft darkness. The novice is fully immersed in this serene rhythm, his body, mind, and spirit flowing with the slow cadence of stone, air, water, and shadow. Time and thought dissolve. All that remains is gentle presence, quiet, calm, and the tender, hypnotic embrace of restorative sleep. In this final, deepest layer of night, the novice drifts entirely into dreamlike peace, floating on the soft, continuous melody of the monastery. The bell's memory, the whispering leaves, the flickering candlelight, and the gentle ripples of water merge into a seamless, tender lullaby. Every sense, every breath, every heartbeat guides him into serenity, carrying him fully into the most restful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the eternal calm of stone, air, water, shadow, and sound. And here, in this quiet, protected space, he rests completely, enveloped in peace, drifting softly into dreams, held tenderly by the ASMR-like cadence of the monastery night.